Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad for a big Super Sunday. We've got Everton against Brighton. Huge game today. We've got the first ever game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. The first ever game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and I think this is going to be a huge one for Brighton. I think Brighton are going to pinch this one today. I've got a good feeling about this. I think Brighton are going to spoil the party. Brighton are going to ruin the first game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Or maybe that's just my inner copite just coming out. I'm just predicting, hoping that Brighton do the business today. But let me know what you think. Yeah, my name's Kee. We're live all day today. We've got 3 games today for what it's worth. We've got Everton against Brighton. Straight after that, we're going to be doing Fulham against Manchester United. Man United are in the bottom 3. I know it's only the first game of the season, but United are in the bottom 3. So hopefully that continues later today. Fulham v Man United at Craven Cottage. Tough place to go, that Craven Cottage. Liverpool lost there last season. Arsenal dropped points there last season. Tough old place to go. And then tonight, after Fulham v Man United, we're going to do a bit of Serie A. Thought we'd do a bit of Serie A. Juventus against Parma. What do you think? See how we get on. So yeah, we're going to be doing plenty of football today. 3 games back to back. And looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions for this one. Everton against Brighton in their new stadium, their new spiritual home. That's a point, actually. What are they going to sing? They got that song, haven't they? Spirit of the Blues. What are they going to actually sing? So come on. Get down to Goodison Park. Can't sing that anymore. That's what they're singing. I don't think Hill Dickinson will be all that happy if they've paid a fortune for sponsorship of the stadium and then they have to get down to Bramley-Moore Dock. That's not going to work, is it? I just keep the song the same. I'm interested to see exactly how Everton approach that, by the way. Seagull Army. Oh, have we got a Brighton fan in? Nice. Brighton's one of my favourite football clubs that aren't Liverpool Football Club, for what it's worth. I'm a huge sort of Brighton might well be my second team. They were a client of mine in a previous life when I used to work a proper job, you might say. When I had a proper job, Brighton were a client of mine. I loved them. They were great business. Great bunch of guys down there. Normal Guy, good morning from the US. How we doing, Normal Guy? Good to see you. DJ Dan Mercury, here we go. He's a blue nose. How we doing, mate? Good to see you. Bobby Lee Bushell, Rangers losing, not starting Tav on, and Asgard, who's a CAM, but he's playing him striker. Russell Martin, I think, will be gone by the time that the Club Bruges game swings round in midweek. Liam Gormley, what game are you watching at the minute? I'm not watching any game well, I am. I'm kind of watching Rangers and St Mirren. I'm half watching St Mirren beat Rangers. So Russell Martin's probably going to be gone very soon. Josh, confident for tomorrow night, lad. Will be a cauldron in that stadium. I mean, listen. Let's just wind it back a minute. It's Newcastle. And it's Newcastle without the best player. We shouldn't be going to St James's Park and shit in the pants. We're not going to be curry barming our kecks. We are the champions. I'm not worried about Newcastle tomorrow night. I think Liverpool win. I'm quite happy with that. DJ Dan Mercury says it's always Bramley-Moore. You're not going to be calling it something a little bit different. Maybe the Hill Dicko or the Hilly Dick. I don't know. The Hill Dickinson. I don't know. Will Malfay, let's go. Rangers are losing. Bobby Lee says, why the F have I betted Rangers? NUFC KS, can't wait for tomorrow. Newcastle v Liverpool. I'll be live for that one. I'm live nice and early for that one tomorrow. 6:30, I'm thinking. Liam Gormley, any thoughts on watching League of Ireland? If we've got time, mate, I absolutely will watch League of Ireland. The reason I don't watch League of Ireland, or haven't watched them this season so far, is just because there's been other leagues on that I would consider to be maybe of a better standard. Maybe I know a little bit better, so I feel like I'm a little bit more in my element. And maybe also just that, I don't know, maybe they get better. Maybe there'd be more general public interest, I guess. I have to cater to the crowd a little bit. That's not why I do. I don't pick games because they will get watched more. Christ, I'm watching Premier League games at the minute. Premier League games don't get any views, believe it or not. There's that much. It's too saturated for watch-alongs for the Premier League. but I love watching them, so I'm watching them. But yeah, I have watched a fair bit of League of Ireland. We've just not really caught it on live streaming it. We've watched Shelbourne and Linfield twice this season. That's, decent going. Ben, I've got Rangers BTTS, so need a good half from the Gers. I wouldn't be backing it, mate. I think, I think Rangers might struggle here. St Mirren hitting them on the counter attack in that first half, and they deserve to be ahead. I think St Mirren. Thomas, Shamrock Rovers made it to Europe and Man United didn't, so technically Rovers are better. Pink Pineapple, yes bro, let's go. How's it going? Taylor H, is it tomorrow? When is the day when there's National League on at 3? National League is on a week tomorrow, mate. Yeah. So we've got next Monday, I'll tell you. It is on tomorrow. So no, I tell a lie. There is National League on tomorrow at 3 o'clock, yes, but I'm not watching it tomorrow. So National League I am watching. Come on. The 3rd of September and the 2nd of September, I've got Morecambe v Forest Green and Brackley Town versus Carlisle. I'm watching both of them. There is footy on Monday, like National League, and I could maybe watch it, but I don't know. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I might do, might not. Bobby Lee Bushell, Doner Kebab to City gonna happen. Pink Pineapple, big up to you, matey. Hope the family's okay, bro. Cheers, man. Thank you. Yeah, they're all good. They're all good. Hopefully yours is all good too and doing well. Rangers just need to sort themselves out because Russell Martin is having an absolute stinker. DJ Dan Mercury, I predict Man U get relegated. In the bottom 3. I mean, it's not a good start, is it? Liam Gormley, do you think Ireland will make it to the World Cup? The group is Portugal, Armenia and Hungary. No. No, I think Portugal and Hungary got the edge on you there, mate, for what it's worth. Taylor, did you vote to the National League games? The majority of people picked the ones that you're watching. No. To be honest, I didn't vote those. I just decided they would be the best one. It's the full schedule. Like all National League games are showing, but I'm not watching them. I'm not putting it to the vote. I've just decided that actually Carlisle, there's national interest with Carlisle because Carlisle came down out of League 2, Brackley Town came up out of National League North, so it's kind of those two meeting together. That's a big one. And then there's national interest with Morecambe, isn't there? Because Morecambe have literally only just got their licence back. Morecambe very nearly weren't even a football team anymore, so they've got taken over. They've got Ashveer Singh, Joe Hall. They just scored a winner yesterday, 98th minute, their first day back. So, yeah, Morecambe against Forest Green Rovers. Morecambe, of course, coming down, relegated last year. Forest Green Rovers led by Robbie Savage. So, there's public interest, I think, with Brackley Town, Carlisle, Morecambe and Forest Green. Taylor, what about Aldershot? Well, yeah, Morecambe. I was going to do Aldershot as well. The shots. But I gave it a miss. What's your opinion on Kinski at Tottenham? I thought he did quite well last season. I thought he did okay last season. I was surprised. I mean, I don't think he's as good as Vicario, but he's a good young keeper. Luna and Bella, Yeovil. What about Yeovil? Yeah, I like Yeovil. No problem with Yeovil at all. It's just whether or not we can actually find time in the calendar, in the busy calendar, to get them going. DJ Dan Mercury, you ever do Crawley Town matches? I think we have done a Crawley Town game, yes. I think we did some last season. Not like, obviously, listen, I try and cover as many as we possibly can across a multitude of leagues, but yeah, I try and cover off as many of the 92 plus the National League, as many as we can across a season. Vasek, did you hear about Krejci joining Wolves from Girona? That's a brilliant signing. Yeah, Ladislav Krejci, a wonderful player. Very, very talented player. If Wolves manage to get him, I think they've done very, very well. Peter Burt, the Gers are shite. I think I agree with you there, Peter. Yeah. Gers are not in a great place at the moment with Russell Martin. Liam Gormley, favourite team in every top 5 league? England, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal. England is Liverpool. If you're forcing me to pick a team that's not Liverpool in England, I don't know, but I'll not complicate that. I would say Liverpool is my favourite team. That's who I support. That's who I've grown up supporting. My dad's been to pretty much every Liverpool game since 1972. Well, up until he had me and my big brother. So yeah, he went for like 25 years and then stopped. And I can't go to games anymore. I physically can't go to games anymore. But yeah, I think Liverpool would be my English team. France, Auxerre is my French team. Italy, my Italian team would be Fiorentina. My Spanish team is I like Betis and I like Malaga. Betis and Malaga would be my Spanish teams. Portugal, I haven't really got a Portuguese team. I've got a Portimonense shirt. Could maybe qualify for Portimonense or Boavista. Actually, Boavista. I like Boavista. Yeah, Boavista would be my Portuguese team because I went watching them against Liverpool back in the day. Michael Owen scored an absolute worldie against them, and I swapped me scarf with a Boavista fan, and he was a nice fella. So yeah, Boavista would be my Portuguese team. And my German team. I haven't really got a German team. I like Wolfsburg. Yeah, I like a few German teams. Stuttgart as well. Stuttgart is a very good. Yeah, I like Stuttgart as well. Kee, afternoon, pal. Good to see you, Kee. Good to have you back on, mate. How you doing? DJ Dan Mercury, I might be interested if you do an away game, mate. You might be interested if you do an away game. What do you mean you might be interested? I'd love to do an away game. I'd love to do any games, to be honest. But it's just whether or not I can do them. That's the problem with the lighting situation. For what it's worth, I've got epilepsy. A lot of grounds nowadays have flashy, and it's only started in the last 5 years, if that. I just can't really go to games anymore. It's not worth the risk. Heaven forbid if I have a seizure and die from going to a football game. It ain't really worth it, so I just don't go to them anymore. But I used to go home and away. I went all over the world watching Liverpool. And I had a pretty nasty incident at the Roman Sanchez Pizjuan in Seville, which is, if you don't know, the Sevilla Stadium is very, very steep. It's very high up, as most Spanish stadiums are, and it was absolutely unbelievable. As soon as Sevilla scored, Liverpool were 3-0 up, and Sevilla came back to go to 3-3, and every Sevilla goal, they literally put strobe lights on and dance music. And I was like, whoa, hit the door. Honestly, it was awful. Jack May, do you think Gay signs for Liverpool? Yes, I do think Gay signs for Liverpool. I think that happens before the end of the window, because Parish has basically said to him, either you sign a new contract or you're leaving. And I imagine he probably, he ain't going to sign a new contract. James, Scottish team. My Scottish team. Who would be my Scottish team? Do you know what? Scottish team would be Livingston. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for Livingston. I watched Ross County against Livingston last year, and it was a great game. And yeah, Livingston kind of won me over in that one. So I like Livingston. Don't mind Aberdeen either. I went to Aberdeen many, many years ago. I went to Pittodrie. And apparently Pittodrie means Hill of Dung. Which I didn't know, but that's what Pittodrie means. Andrew Lynch, do you think Arsenal will have a trophyless season? No, I don't think they'll have a trophyless season. I think they win something, but it ain't going to be the Premier League or the Champions League. Daniel, thoughts on Doncaster? Yeah, like Donny. Good lot of time for Rovers. Ben, Stuttgart is twinned with our hometown. Is it really? I didn't know that. Lol Joey, Glasner, saying Palace probably won't get a defender in, so Gay very likely off. I know, but he's got to maintain that position publicly, hasn't he? Sean, how's it going? Sean, good to see you. Acano 97, Shamrock Rovers, a massive, great result for Shamrock in midweek in Europe, wasn't it? Ooh, interesting position, interesting lineup for Everton. We'll go through the lineups in just a moment. Jack May, do you think Gay starts for us? We've done that one, sorry. Big John 820, have you got a retro City kit? I have, yes. I've got the old City IDOS kits from kind of one of the last years at Main Road. It's good. It's about 30 years old. It's not. Yeah, it's a good old kit. Like Taylor H. How come some teams in Scotland have 3G pitches? The weather. Yeah, the weather, mate. It's so cold up there and it just gets icy. Pitches get frozen all the time. If you didn't have a pitch that was a lot more durable, let's say, and a lot easier to kind of brush snow off and, turn on the undersoil heaters or whatever, it's a lot easier with that sort of. That's why they have them in Norway as well, and Iceland and places like that. They're a lot more durable and able to sustain cold weather. Max, all right, mate. How's it going? Good to see you. Aidan, what do you think of Everton, Brighton, and Palace v Forest? I think Brighton win here. I think Brighton pinch it, and I think. I did say 2-2 with Palace and Forest, because I think it's going to be an ill-tempered one, obviously, but I do think that Forest pinch it, actually. Looking at the lineups, the way we saw Palace play in midweek against Fredrikstad, Palace were bloody awful against Fredrikstad, so I would go for Forest in that one. Yeah, I think Forest are going to. I think we're going to go 2 away wins. We're going to go 2 away wins in this one. Brighton and Forest. Danny Woolger, what football team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, but as you can probably tell, we watch everyone on this channel. I watch all teams, all leagues, and I just love football. So don't hold it against me. I can have an opinion on, same as anyone, I can have an opinion on anyone. I'm not totally biased just because I'm a Liverpool fan. But I watch a lot of football. I probably watch more football than the average person. That doesn't mean I know any more than the average person, but I watch an awful lot of football every single day. This is what I do for a living. Double I, Aberdeen, I thought you hate Sir Alex. I don't hate Sir Alex, no. I don't hate Sir Alex. A little bit like Gary Neville. I did hate him while he was playing. I hated Alex Ferguson while he was managing. You get a begrudging respect for him as he's got older. He's a bloody good manager. And very few did what he did. Very few could have done what he did. Yeah, good manager. Dan Mercury, how do you rate FC Magdeburg? Magdeburg have knocked me down on a few bets in the last couple of seasons, so I don't like them very much. As far as how I rate them, I honestly, I don't know. I haven't really got good eyes on the. I said last season I didn't watch enough of the Bundesliga. I used to watch a fair bit of Bundesliga 2, but I haven't really watched any Bundesliga 2 or Bundesliga 3. For a while. I used to follow the lower leagues in Germany because they're really good to watch. Even Segunda Liga in Spain is really good to watch. But I only caught like the tail end of Segunda Liga when Real Oviedo got promoted, and I didn't really catch any of the playoffs. We did one of the playoffs for the Bundesliga 2, and we did the playoffs for Ligue 2, the French second division as well. But I haven't really caught much of Magdeburg recently. DJ Dan Mercury, Key, I only trust one gobshite, and that's you. That's very kind of you to say, mate. Like, listen, I'll still predicting Everton to lose today, even though you're nice, even though you're a very nice toffee. I'm still predicting you lads lose today. Taylor H, I think I'm crazy because I've watched the Iceland League and the Romanian League and loads of weird leagues. No, mate, listen, if you like football, you like football. Ollie, what made you watch this over Palace v Forest? I think this is going to be a better game. I think it's two teams who maybe have a point to prove. And it's the new stadium. It's Everton's new stadium. You can't really not watch Everton's new ground. I think it was always likely to be this one. M157, what channel, Key? It's on Sky Sports, mate. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the likes. Let's see if we can get to 5k by kickoff, or maybe to 10k. Maybe we can just get to 10k before kickoff. Why not? Pickford's doing his interview at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I very nearly said Bramley Moor. Dan Mercury, I know we're going to lose. It'd be the most Everton thing ever to lose here and then to win, like beat Liverpool in the derby. Like, that would be the most Everton thing ever. But maybe new stadium, new era. It could be the start of a change. It could be a different type of Everton. But am I right in saying, Dan, I heard an Evertonian tell me this the other day, and I wasn't sure how accurate it was, but he was quite adamant that Everton haven't won a game in August in about 6 years. And I think the last time they did win a game in August, it was against Brighton. So that might bode well for Everton. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Troy, random question. Who do you think has the nicest kit in the Prem without being biased? This season, the nicest kit in the Prem? Ooh, that's a good question. I like Wolves' home shirt. I think Wolves' home shirt is very, very good. I like Man United's third kit, the black one, and I like Arsenal's third kit, the white one with the claret. Very, very nice. What other nice kits are there? There's quite a few nice. I don't like Brighton's away kit today. Brighton have got like a lilac colour. A little lilac colour. Yeah. You support Wolves? Oh, right, well, there you go. I picked the right one then, didn't I? Yeah, I do. I really like Wolves' home kit. It's very, very nice. M15 7, 2 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, 2 p.m. kickoff. Rangers are shite. Yeah, Rangers aren't having a good day. Taylor H is Grealish starting. Let's go through the lineups. Let's talk through the lineups now. We'll go through them, right? Let's talk through them. Empty Bruges kit. I haven't got a Bruges kit. I've got an Anderlecht kit from when I went to Anderlecht. I went watching Liverpool play Anderlecht away in 2006. Gibril Cisse scored the winner. We won 1-0 and I got an Anderlecht kit then. Vincent Kompany was playing for Anderlecht that day as well. Right, so here we go. Lineups for Everton and Brighton. Everton's lineup is Pickford in goal, as you'd imagine. They've got a back four of Jake O'Brien, centre-back playing at right-back. Not a good start. James Tarkowski and Michael Keane. And then at left-back, they've got James Garner, centre-mid playing at left-back. It's not good. Still not good, that. So they've got centre-back at right-back, centre-mid at left-back for Everton. Midfield three of Idrissa Gana Gueye, Tim Irabunum and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. They've got Grealish starting on the left, Ilman and I starting on the right, and Tierno Barry starting through the middle. Interesting. Okay. For Brighton, it is Verbruggen in goal. They've got a back four of De Kuiper, Van Hecke, Mats Wiefer, and Dunk. So Mats Wiefer, I think, will start at right back, if I'm right. Wiefer will start at right back. Dunk and Van Hecke in the middle. De Kuiper starting at left back. De Kuiper's one to watch. He's a new signing. In the middle, they've got Matt O'Reilly, Baleba, and Ayari. Baleba can cover some ground today, can't he? I think he'll be terrific. Baleba, Matt O'Reilly, and Ayari in midfield. And then a front three of Mitoma, Welbeck, and Yankuba Minter. Yankuba Minter, of course, a player that Everton really wanted. They were very close to signing Yankuba Minter. DJ Dan Mercury said, Key, here's an interesting fact. Everton won the first match at Goodison. Did they really? I bet they won the first match at Anfield as well. For what it's worth. They've built 3 stadiums in Liverpool, Everton. Liverpool haven't built one. Brilliant. Is Grealish starting? Yes, Grealish is starting, mate. What we saying? I support Wolves. Troy, it's the collar for me. It's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, I really like the Wolves kit. M15, banging our third kit was gassed when I seen it. Joe, you've just been mauled by the maestro. What maestro? What are you on about? Lol, Joey, doesn't O'Brien play fullback for them regularly? He does, but only out of necessity. He is a centre-back. He's been playing right-back for most of the back end of last season because they didn't have a right-back. They had Nathan Patterson, who, if you remember, Sean Dyche smacked round the head. And, yeah, they just didn't really have a right-back. Seamus Coleman was injured. Ashley Young, who's doing commentary today, he was out injured, I think. So O'Brien's played fullback quite a bit, but he's not a fullback. Sinisalo, good to see you, mate. Afternoon, how's it going? What we saying? Score predictions, Ace. I've gone score predictions here. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Brighton and 2-1 to Forest away at Palace. So I've predicted 2 away wins, which I imagine probably means it's going to be 2 home wins, sadly. MT, if you still not burned that Anderlecht shirt, that should have been burned after the stream on Thursday. I'll bear it in mind. I will bear it in mind. Empty, it says De Kuiper is a star. Yeah, De Kuiper's going to be a good player in the Prem, I think. Daz, what's your 11 for tomorrow? Depends whether or not we can squeeze Bradley in or Gomez in at right back. If we can't, I'd be tempted to put Curtis Jones there. So I would go Alisson, Kanate, Van Dijk, Curtis Jones, Kirkes, and then I would go midfield 3, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, McAllister, and then I would have Wirtz starting off the left with Ekitike and Salah. Yeah. And as harsh as that feels to drop Gakpo, I don't know. DJ Dan Mercury, first game at Anfield ended Everton 5, Earlstown 0. Earlstown, the Rats! Sinisalo, I miss big of Matt O'Reilly, what a player. User not found. Key, you've said it for a while, that Spurs team is very underrated. Called it. Called it. Everyone was saying I was stupid last season. I said they might finish top 5, top 6 this season. Key, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I get as many wrong as I get right for what it's but I have to celebrate the wins when they come around. I have to profess them and shout them from the rooftops because I do get a fair bit wrong as well. Fleck and Joker, Everton will always be the only decent fans in Liverpool. Oh, that's harsh. Hey, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not in Liverpool though. Just outside. Joe, only one more sleep, pal. Mason Jason Aviation, good lad, get you back there. How's it going? Gomez, yeah, Joe Gomez, mate. I think Joey Gomez, I'd love him to start. Empty, think Sobbo benched, think Vert specialises in his passing, put him on the wing, might not be the best for him. I'd be happy either way, whether it's Vert's in midfield or Vert's wide left. I don't know. Maybe Szoboszlai goes right back. That's another option. Maybe we put Szoboszlai at right back over Curtis Jones. I don't know yet. It's a lot to think about. United 7 says Fulham today. Yep, Fulham I think is going to be a very tricky one today for United. I expect Fulham get the win. Or at least a point anyway. Slavia! Hello my friend, good to see you. How's it going? Troy, if we can get the form, I think West Ham, Brentford and Burnley are going down. West Ham, Brentford and Burnley? Oh, I think Brentford are fine. Brentford picked up a great win yesterday against Villa. They played brilliantly. We had a Villa fan in the chat yesterday telling us how fantastic Brentford were. He was gutted, of course. He was saying, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it at all that Villa have played so poorly, but Brentford were terrific. And I really do. I think Brentford will be fine. Sinisalo, I think McGowan is underrated. To be honest, he doesn't get the time. What are we saying? Sorry. User not found, especially under Thomas Frank. Top manager, that back line is unreal. It's the midfield 3 for me for Spurs. Bentancur, Sarr and Palhinha, especially when they put Bergvall in there. Honestly, that is a midfield 3 that I would... It's as good as anything in the Premier League for me. Daz, do you see us getting 1 or 2 more? A defender and a striker? I think we get maybe at least 2. Maybe even 3, but definitely 2. Yeah, I think we get Isak and Gay. I still think those happen. Pup, how's it going? Good afternoon, sir. Currently suffering watching the Rangers game. Think I might start watching Lowland League football. Start following Brora Rangers or someone like that. Get following them. LFC fan, what about Dom at right back? It's a possibility. Yeah, for sure. Certainly a possibility. Eagle, yo, predictions for tomorrow. I've gone 2-1 to Liverpool. How's it going? Good to see you. United 7. Gordon's a Liverpool fan. He is, yeah. Ellie, I'm a Brentford fan and I think we're staying up. I agree, Ellie. I absolutely agree. I think Brentford are going to be fine. They've been really, really solid since Jordan Henderson came in. No, I think they'd be fine. They will be okay. Taylor, you need to do 4 games in one day. I would be in the chat all day, no joke. Mate, I've done it. I did it quite a bit last season. We did 3 yesterday, 3 today. I've done 4 games in a day. It's really, it's actually quite tough, believe it or not. And believe me, I've worked on building sites, I've worked in warehouses, I've worked in offices, done 12-hour shifts, night shifts. I've done it all. I've done different jobs all the time. It's hard. Sat here watching footy. I know you think, it's not that hard. But it does take it out of you. You're talking all day. That's no wonder I get a sore throat. End up sounding like Jacob Ramsey when he's doing that. When he's doing his voice thing for the Premier League. Jacob Ramsey. Leon, where's that Tolga fella? Not seen him in ages. I think he went off with his tail between his legs, mate, because he said that football was all theatre, and he said he could predict the winner in every single game, and then he just basically kept getting games wrong. And me and Chimey kept calling him out. Chimey's one of our regulars as well. We kept calling him out. Cash Khan, hi mate, what app do you use to watch all the football? No app, mate. Sky Sports, right here. Yeah, Sky Sports. Watching Rangers right now against St Mirren, and then just switching over to Everton Brighton. Sinisalo, Key Rangers getting beat again 1-0 right now. I know that's killing me. I need Rangers at least to get a draw. User not found. Polina is a beast. Proper CDM keeps it simple. ARC Halve, which game are you watching? I am watching Everton against Brighton in the first game at the Hill Dickinson. Taylor, please do forward on the weekend. Well, I think next weekend is the last weekend before the international break. So, next weekend we are doing on Saturday. What's Saturday's games? The early kickoff is Chelsea-Fulham. Then we've got, after Chelsea-Fulham, we've got Wolves against Everton. Wolves against Everton is the 3 o'clock. Then we're doing Leeds against Newcastle at 5:30. And there's maybe an away... We could do a late one. We could do an 8 o'clock one as well as that. Maybe something like Napoli-Cagliari. Or Pisa against Roma. Could even... Oh! Sporting Lisbon against Porto. How's about that? Maybe we could do that for the 4th game. Sporting Lisbon against Porto. That could be a possibility. Oh, I could be tempted by that. Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe next weekend we do 4. Maybe next Saturday we do 4. Joe, are you doing any of the national team games? Absolutely. National games kick off the week after that one. So we've got, I think Wales are playing Kazakhstan. I'll be doing Wales, Kazakhstan. What else is there on that's that week? I think Luxembourg v Northern Ireland. That'll be a good watch. But we'll do that. And then on the Friday there is Denmark-Scotland. Could watch Denmark-Scotland. That'll be a good game. FIFA qualifier as well. They're not just friendlies, these are actual World Cup qualifiers. England v Andorra, of course. Republic of Ireland v Hungary. We'll watch that. And we could watch, earlier in the day, there is a National League game on. We could do Altrincham against Sutton United. So we'll still be doing 3 or 4. Yeah, we'll still be doing 3 or 4 a day on the weekends. Through the week, it's 1 or 2, of course. So, yeah, we'll do lots of footy, of course. We always do lots of footy on here. Korab, where do you get your shirts from? Most of them, mate, have just been accumulated over the years. Like, just over a long, long time. I always show this one. This is one of my favourites, Totti Roma shirt. I picked that up when I was in Rome, watching Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final. But we've had lots and lots of shirts that I've just picked up over the years. And some I've got off like Vinted and stuff like that. You'd be amazed how many you can pick up cheap second-hand off eBay and Vinted and places like that. Troy, what do you think that Fabrizio Romano is a fraud now? I don't think he's a fraud. Would we class him as a fraud? I think he's a bloke who gets paid an awful lot of money, by the way, for posting tweets. Like, do you know how much he gets? Like I think it's £8 per 1,000 views Fabrizio Romano gets. And that's just on Twitter, by the way. £8 per 1,000 views. Now, if you're getting £8 per 1,000 views, I think I'd probably post the same shit over and over again, wouldn't you? I mean, you wouldn't want to attack your own credibility, which he maybe has skirted the lines of that. But he has also, you know, got a wage to make. Daz, are you doing 4 next Sunday? I don't know, mate. I guess we'll just wait and see. I'm gonna wait and see what's happening, and we'll play it by ear. I don't want to promise anything, but up to now, I've got plenty of games planned. Absolutely. Daz, what's your prediction for Fulham v United? I think Fulham United will be 2-2. I think that'll be high scoring, that one. Empty says Belgium against Liechtenstein. Possibly. I've not looked at them yet. I've not looked too far ahead because it's like 2 weeks off. I generally only do my schedule like a week or so in advance. Raul, I requested. Can you let me on? I can't, mate. No, I can't let you on. I can't let you on. Sorry. I'm live on multiple platforms. You see, so if I put you on TikTok, there's only people on TikTok can hear you. Nobody else on all of the other platforms that are watching me right now. So I can't get you on TikTok. I'm sorry. Daz, are you doing Champions League draw on Thursday? I am. Yes, I'm live for Fredrikstad against Palace. That kicks off at 5, and then the Champions League draws at 7, I believe. So as soon as that one finishes, or during that one, we'll be doing the Champions League draw. So I'll keep you updated on that as we're going through it. So the draw will be on. It'll just be during the Crystal Palace game. Jordy, how's it going, mate? How are the lads? Everton 0, Everton 2, Brighton 0 you're going for. Okay. Excited for tomorrow at the Fortress, mate. Nice. Stephen King says, Daz, I thought you talked a lot of sense about football, but when you say Liverpool have spent the same as Sunderland, says everything about you. Well, Liverpool haven't spent that much more than Sunderland. Have a look. It's very true. I think we've not spent that much more than Burnley, for what it's worth. Leon, how's it going? I want to see Josh Mulligan for Scotland. Nice. Empty. 2 Rangers fans pissed off in their chat. Corab, what do you use to display your shirt? It's honestly, mate, it's just stuff off Amazon. It's just a shirt display thing off Amazon. You can get them dead cheap. It's just a dead basic A4 display thing. Yeah, get it dead cheap. Just search on Amazon A4 display. Peter Parker, thank you for the follow, mate. Official DK19 is 52 points with Murillo still yet to play. Good. It's not bad. Certainly not bad. Joseph Vickers, Everton Brighton predictions. I've gone for 2-1 Brighton, mate. I think they'll pinch it today. Good side, Brighton. Although I don't like the kit. The kit is very, very bad today. If you're new around here, by the way, if you're watching me on TikTok, if you're watching me on YouTube, please do us a favour. Please click like and subscribe. It takes you 2 seconds. It massively helps me out. Please do click like and subscribe. All you're doing is just letting YouTube know this guy's all right. He's not a bad fella. He's okay. Peter Parker crying, who do you support? Well, hang on. Before I answer that question, would it make you think differently of me? I mean, I'll tell you I support. I don't hide it. I say it every single live. But if I said to you I'm a Liverpool fan, would it matter? If I said to you I was a United fan, would it matter? Does it mean you can have less of an opinion on certain things? See, I don't think it does. Official, Joe, I really want to go to Dortmund away, so let's hope. Yeah, well, listen, we'll talk it through on Wednesday. Or is it Thursday? Sorry, Thursday next week. Pup, I am one of the 3 likes on YouTube. Cheers, Pup. Can always rely on you. M15, is there a way to see how many likes people send? Not that I'm aware of. No, I don't believe so. If there is, I don't know how to do it. Thank you for the follow. Taylor, I'm buzzing for the draw on Thursday. Joseph Vickers, I'm an Everton fan and I am not confident. We're not clinical at all and Brighton are very good. Well, have you heard the news this week, by the way? Just while we're talking about Brighton and Everton. There was news that came out this week that Everton were looking for another centre-forward because David Moyes has seen Tierno Barry in training and he isn't very happy with him. He's considered him very raw. Now, he's already had a go at Beto and said Beto is not a particularly... He's basically said he's not the same... he's not the same as he was last season. He needs to do better, blah, blah, blah. But he still kept playing him, and I think that says an awful lot about him, that he doesn't want to put Tierno Barry in. But he's put Tierno Barry in from the start today, maybe under overwhelming pressure. But lots of Evertonians have watched him in the under-21s, and they've said he looks very, very raw. Stephen, Daz, stop it. Your football knowledge is great, but come on, don't say Liverpool spending the same as Sunderland. You can think what you want, but Liverpool spent so much more than Sunderland. That's really not the case, mate. I promise you, it really isn't. It's really, really not the case. So Sunderland, for what it's worth, have spent €6 million less than Liverpool. Liverpool have spent €120 million. Sunderland have spent nearly 115. So basically €5 million. That's what we're arguing over. Split the difference. Sunderland have basically spent the same as Liverpool. And actually, that was only because we signed Giovanni Leone last week. We signed Giovanni Leone. So up to last week, you'd spent about 30 million more than us. So, yeah, bear that in mind. Joseph Vickers, we've done that one, sorry. They should ban international breaks, says Harv. M15, get to 10k likes before the game. Cheers, mate. Hopefully so. Thank you for those that are liking and sharing. Massively, massively helps. Joseph Vickers, we want another centre-forward, but I think it's to send Yusuf Chamiti on loan. Apparently, Beto's been linked with a couple of moves away as well. Taylor, what happens if there is no games on the day, like it doesn't show you that there is any games on? Well, there have been some like that. There have been some, but very, very rare. It's usually... So, for example, there is usually the odd game in between international breaks and the end of the season. So, for example, the season ends on Sunday. The international break starts... And like the teams, the national teams start playing on the Wednesday and the Thursday. So there's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday there where there's not an awful lot of football because players are flying all over the world, meeting up with the national teams. In those few days, that's where I try and squeeze in National League games, Norwegian League, Iceland, all that sort of stuff. So we watch football from different leagues at that point. But sometimes there just isn't a game on. But yes, if there is a game on Christmas Day, I'll be watching it, of course. Stephen King, you say you don't want Man City and Chelsea's in the league where money pays success, but here you are saying Sunderland spent the same. Regardless outgoings, it's showing massive on spent. What do you mean, Stephen? I'm not saying I don't want Man City and Chelsea's in the league. I'm saying that Man City's and Chelsea's shouldn't be able to spend unabated. Here you are saying Sunderland spent the same. Sunderland have. And I'm not criticising saying Sunderland have spent the same, by the way. You're just stating a fact. Or rather, I'm just stating a fact. You're saying that Liverpool haven't spent the same as Sunderland. They basically have. They basically have. For what it's worth, Arsenal have spent nearly 3 times, 2.5 times as much as Liverpool. 2.5 times as much as Liverpool. Man United more than double. Clarky, are you watching the Rangers game, Key? I was watching the Rangers game. I've turned it over now. I'm watching the build-up to the Everton game. But go on, I'll switch back to Rangers for a minute. There's 18 minutes left, and Rangers are putting all the pressure on St Mirren here. Issa, do you think Wood is going to score? He usually does. If Forest score, Wood usually gets one. Right, it's a corner to Rangers here. Diamande getting the deflection. I tell you what, if Russell Martin loses here and then gets knocked out in midweek against Club Brugge, I think that might be it for him. I think he's gone. He'll probably be gone before they play the Old Firm. Bearing in mind, they have got the Old Firm next week. A week today, I think it is. A week today, Rangers play Celtic. And we're doing that one, by the way. I'm doing that one live. AM10, what do you think of Donnarumma to City? I'm not overwhelmed by it. I think Donnarumma's a decent keeper, but yeah, he's not. I don't think he necessarily improves Man City. Taylor, did you have a problem with the Liverpool-Bournemouth game the other day? It was buffering. Yes, that was a Virgin Media issue. That wasn't anything to do with... yeah, it was purely for people who were on Virgin Media. So yeah, there was loads of people who were affected. AM10, I feel bad for Trafford if it happens. I mean, Trafford will get opportunities, but Trafford didn't have a great game himself yesterday, did he? It wasn't a particularly good game for James Trafford. Sorry, we didn't go through the... Well, we did go through the Brighton team, didn't we? We did go through Brighton. Did we go through Palace and Forest? Let's do Palace and Forest. Oh, here we go. Palace and Forest, here we go. So Palace is Henderson in goal, Richards, Lacroix and Gay at the back, Munoz, Wharton, Hughes and Mitchell. Obviously, Munoz and Mitchell will be your wing-backs. And then it's a front three of Sarr, Mateta and Devaney. Then you've got for Forest, Sells in goal, Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic, Aina at the back, Anderson, Sangare sitting behind Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs-White and Ndoye. And then centre forward is big Chris Wood. Stephen King, you don't want Chelsea controlling the league with spending. Liverpool spending is so much higher regardless of sales. Arsenal might have spent loads, but own it. Don't say you spent the same as some. Stephen, shut up. Don't make you talking nonsense, mate. You're talking absolute nonsense. Liverpool have spent. If you spend a tenner and then you sell something for a fiver, you've still got a fiver. It's the same thing. You've spent a fiver. Net spend. And again, what's the point anyway? What's the overall point you're trying to make? The overall point is that Sunderland have spent a lot of money. If they don't stay up, then they're probably going to be in a predicament themselves. I'm not criticising Sunderland's spending. I think it's good. They should spend. Teams should spend when they come up. They have to bridge the gap. Leeds haven't spent enough, in my opinion, and Leeds are probably going to go down as a result. And I would say the same about Burnley. At least, Sunderland are showing some ambition. Corner to Rangers here. Leon says, I think Rangers will play well against Celtic. Well, that'll only be if Rangers change their manager. Clarkey, Manchester City are going to struggle this season again. I think Sunderland are crap, says Joe. Tell him that Sunderland is crap. Nickname, Proper Scouser. I'm not a proper Scouser. DJ Dan Mercury, what is this Stephen on? I don't know, he must have been reading a Stephen King book. Maybe he scared himself a little bit, I don't know. Stephen, sometimes money talks. Don't act like you spent the same as Sunderland just because of sales. You spent so much more. Not you spent a fiver, you sold a fiver. You spent two, sold five, it's control. Stephen, what is your point? Get in! Rangers have scored 1-1 and it's the sub. It's Finlay Curtis. He's literally just come off the bench. Finlay Curtis, off the bench, and smashes it in. What a finish. Good lad. He's a great young player, Finlay Curtis. I saw him in the pre-season game against Club Brugge and he was absolutely brilliant then. Big deflection, mind. Big old deflection. Ryan Pullen, I'll go for United, Forest, Brighton and Liverpool. I think United will draw. They'll definitely drop points today for sure. Forest, I think, do get the win. Brighton, I think, get the win. I think Liverpool probably get the win tomorrow as well. So I go 2-1. Pope, about damn time. Tell you what, they're going again. Ben, yeah, they could maybe get a second. There's a chance. Is Gassama playing? Hit it! Oh, good save, keeper. Woohoo! Pushing forward now. They're really pushing forward. Ryan, United get lucky and get a penalty in the 93rd minute. United are in the bottom 3 as it stands. Hopefully it's the same by the end of the day. DJ Dan Mercury, Stephen King, are you a Man U fan? No, listen, I absolutely guarantee that Stephen is either a Newcastle or a Villa fan. I'd be amazed if he's anything else. He's a Newcastle or a Villa fan, I would wager. They are the 2 teams who seem to have a gripe most about control. Knick-knack, is that a joke, Paul? No, it's not a joke, Paul. That's a serious question. Who is the best player to ever play for Brighton and Everton? Is it A, Shane Duffy, or B, Neil Maupay? Cam Rangers got a second, says Ben. Ryan, hate United. I put a bet on them, and you're a Liverpool fan. No, never do that. Never do that, because then you can't enjoy the game. I have a rule. I don't bet ever, even if it's like United. If I think they're absolute certainties to win, never back United. Never ever back Everton, because you can't enjoy the game when they lose. Stephen, what's my point? My point is you've not spent the same as Sunderland, right? And all right, let's say we concede that that's the case. Let's say we do concede that's the case. What does it matter? What does it even matter? What's the larger point? What's the overarching point you're trying to make here, mate? Nick Nakai, Key, glad you picked the Everton game. Me too, yes. Joe Crowley, afternoon, sir. Everton to win v Brighton. Good to see you, Joe. I don't think that's the case. No, I think Brighton do pinch it today. St Mirren are in. Oh, unlucky. I tell you what, St Mirren might pinch it if they're not careful. Nick Nakai went Maupay for a laugh. Everton fans absolutely loathe Neil Maupay. They loathe him. Nafefa, good afternoon. Key loves some Sunday football chat. And I do too, mate. Absolutely love it. Good to see you. Fatboy 007, Moyes should have started with McNeil playing Grealish on the wing. He needs number 10. Grealish is not going to be the player Everton fans think he is, I'm telling you. Stephen, it matters you keep saying they spent the same. So what, are you just a pedant? Are you just a pedant? Are you just correcting people for the sake of it? Or have you actually got a purpose? Have you got a larger point here? Is it just, you know, if I say something's red and you think it's actually blue, you're saying it's blue? Is that all it is? Are we just picking for the sake of picking? Like, if that's the case, that's fine if you're just correcting people because you think accuracy matters, or is it actually you've got a point? DN, Leeds, Sunderland or Burnley should sign Kurt Zouma on a free. Lock up your cats. Lock up your cats. Kurt Zouma's about. Joe, if we beat Hughes tomorrow, you have to do a dance to Fog on the Tyne on your stream on Tuesday. DJ Dan Mercury, I never wanted Grealish at Everton. Why not? I mean, I can understand it. I agree. I don't think you should be signing him. I think if you look at him from an objective opinion and you think, well, nearly 30 years old, it cost like 8 to 10 million quid on loan to get him in. Didn't really assist or score playing behind Haaland over the last 2 years, so what's the chances he does it for Everton? I think he's a red flag. He screams a red flag, Jack Grealish. I'm not doing a dance. No, I'm not sitting here doing a dance to Fog on the Tyne if Newcastle beat us. No, because there's nothing for me. If Liverpool win, I don't get anything, do I? It's got to be an equal thing. And I don't want to see you dancing to, I don't know, whatever. M15, thank you for that, mate. You're an absolute star. Fatboy 007, I'm here, and Everton fans think they're going to win 2-0 or 3-1 Brighton. Look fired up for this game. DN, do you think tomorrow will be a really difficult game or easy for Liverpool? Oh, it'll be a difficult game for sure. It's a tough game. It's a very, very tough game. St James's Park always is, but I still think Liverpool will win. We're the champions. We're the better team. They haven't got their best player. Like, of course we win. Like, I just can't see an outcome where Liverpool. No, I can. That's excessive. That's excessive. Let me roll that back. I can see Newcastle pinching a point. I can't see an outcome where Liverpool lose. Knick-knack thing is, who could Everton get that is better than Grealish? I think he'll do well myself. I don't think Keenan Dewsbury Hall was a good or well-advised signing either. Again, 27, never kicked a ball for England, 30 million quid. I just feel like if you're Everton and you've got 40 million quid to spend, you're better off going getting a Tyler Diblin, which they have done, haven't they? They've gone and paid 40 million quid there or thereabouts for a Tyler Diblin, who's 18, 19, loads of potential, massive opportunity to kick on, and they can probably resell him in years to come for 80, 90, 100 million maybe. They could do what with Diblin, what Villa did with Grealish. That's what Everton should be shooting for, in my opinion. What they can't do is go out and buy Jack Grealish and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who are only going to decrease in value. They are on big wages. They aren't going to immediately improve them, in my opinion. That's my opinion, my humble opinion. I think, maybe I'll be proved wrong, possibly. But I think if you look at Jack Grealish and think the guy got 6 goals and assists total across 2 years at Manchester City, playing with Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland and all the best players in the world, he's not going to improve that going to Everton. Stephen, larger point, your knowledge of football is good, but sometimes own you're wrong. You can't compare Liverpool spending the same as Sunderland. You can say that Liverpool have spent comparatively a lot less than all of their rivals. Yes, you can. My point was, when I said Liverpool have spent about the same as Sunderland, that was true on a net. If you're looking at it from a net spend perspective, the point was basically to illustrate that Liverpool have spent nowhere near Arsenal, nowhere near City, nowhere near Man United, nowhere near Chelsea. All of the teams we're supposed to be competing with, we've spent nowhere near. So yes, the point was not necessarily to say Sunderland have overspent or Liverpool are spending as much as this team at the bottom. It wasn't really that. It was more to say Liverpool have spent a fair bit. We always have to reel it back in. We always have to reel it back in. We've never ever spent huge amounts of money. Ever. Arsenal have spent, like I said, nearly 3 times as much as Liverpool this window. Rangers still pushing forward here. Last 5 minutes. DN, this screams 3-3 draw to me tomorrow. It was 3-3 last season, wasn't it? DN, there's no real pace in that team catching Gordon or Elanga on the counters. Well, there is. Gravenberch will eat them up. Stephen King, Liverpool fans acting like City and Chelsea fans. How? How are we acting like Liverpool and like City and Chelsea fans? Nick Nack, am I on the right Sky channel? All I'm getting is Palace build-up. I don't know, push I would assume so. They're both on Sky. It's 5-1-1. It's Sky main event for Everton. Sky main event. I'm just watching the rest of Rangers first. Callum 2703. Hi, how much for the shirts? I'm not selling them, mate. I'm not selling them. DN, I don't think any Liverpool player catches Elanga. Well, plenty of Villa players did last week. Yeah, Elanga didn't cover himself in glory last week. Hamburg back in the Bundesliga today, says Felix. Yep, you're up against Borussia Mönchengladbach, aren't you? How do you fancy you get on against Mönchengladbach? Yeah, Kirkes can definitely keep up with Elanga. I was going to say, that's a little bit of a misnomer. I absolutely think Kirkes will be fine against Elanga. Kirkes, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai. I mean, even Wirtz is rapid. And Gakpo. I'm sure Gakpo is one of the fastest in the Liverpool team in training. Yeah, we've got loads of players who can keep up with Elanga. Kanate, I think, has registered. Did he register last season the fastest sprint? Can't remember. I don't know. Even Ekatike, Christ, they'll all check back. Stephen King, to compare with Sunderland, Liverpool are the big boys in the Premier. Should be proud they spent less than the big sides, but don't compare with Sunderland for spending. I think you're overthinking it, Stephen. I think you're overthinking it. Like I said, it was to illustrate a larger point that Liverpool don't spend anywhere near as much as the teams that we compete with. And I think it did illustrate that point. So, I'll leave it there, Chief. Michael, afternoon, Kieran, good to see you. How's it going? Sean Kendrick, are Leicester getting any points deducted this season? And if so, how many? I imagine they won't get any points deducted. There was rumours that they would, but I imagine they'll probably be fine now. I don't know if they will ultimately get the points deducted that maybe people thought they would. Eddie Allen, do the Dan Burn dance, mate. Good luck to Liverpool tomorrow from a Toon fan. And good luck to Newcastle too. I think you'll need it. Toby, no mate, Van der Ven registered fastest sprint. Be yourself, Dylan. Rangers going to draw a third game in a row. Rangers really struggling. Russell Martin needs to go, says Dylan. Good to see you, Dylan. Lol Joey, on net spend, Liverpool are still only like 5th or 6th this summer. That's true. Yeah, Liverpool well behind everyone else on net spend. Nick Knack, did you see Ten Hag lost his first home match to Hoffenheim? He did, yeah. He massively struggled, didn't he? Kwanzaa scored as well on his debut, first goal, and then yeah, the Ten Hag effect kicked in for Leverkusen. They got beat in the end by Hoffenheim. Dave Wilson, how's it going? Hi peeps, hope everyone's doing okay today. Up the Toffees, how are you feeling today, mate? What's your predictions for this one? We've got a mixed bag in terms of predictions in the chat today. So many people thinking that it could be Everton nicking it, and again we've got a mixed bag of supporters here. We've got some Reds, we've got some Blues, we've got fans of all different types of clubs watching us. Oh, Rangers very nearly 2-1 in the last minute. Yeah, all different types of fans watching us at the minute. Hundreds on TikTok. We've got people on YouTube as well. All sorts of predictions for Brighton and Everton. A real mixed bag. But I would imagine the overwhelming feeling is a positive one at the Hill Dickinson Arena today. The Hill Dickinson Stadium, sorry. Stephen King, you're in a different league for spending than Sunderland. As far as big ones go, you're definitely better than the larger teams. I like Liverpool. Compare with big teams, though. Daz. My name's Kee, by the way. You keep saying Daz. I'm not Daz. Dave Wilson, a close game. I think we can nick it in our new stadium. It'll be a big old win if you do manage to beat Brighton. They're a really, really top team. 5 points off the Champions League places last season, Brighton. Managed to keep hold of Baleba as well. Managed to add some really good players. I'll tell you what, St Mirren are in here. St Mirren might nick it. Oh, really good defending from Rangers at the end there. 5 minutes left here. Dave says Barry goal, me thinks. Okay. Tierno Barry. Who scores? That's it. Who scores the first goal in the Hill Dickinson Stadium? Be a good shout. DN, thoughts about Max Darman though? He was brilliant yesterday. I tell you what he is. He's a diving rat. I don't care if he's 15. He just needs to stop diving. That was an absolute dive for that penalty. Stephen King, sorry Key, thought I heard someone say Daz. Don't worry about it, mate. It's all right. I just didn't want you to keep calling me Daz forever, and then we get into this weird zone where we're calling each other different things. Stephen King, I don't like Sunderland, but Liverpool are at a different level than Sunderland. That's true enough. Yeah, that is true enough. Jamie Football, yes lads, you good? Good to see you, Jamie. How's it going? Clarky, what is it tomorrow? The Isaac Derby. Yeah, the custody of Isaac Derby. The snakes and ladders Isaac Derby. Chammy, hey Key, hey chat. Glad I made it on time. This work fatigue is becoming a problem. Just keep ploughing on, mate. Keep ploughing on. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Keep doing as best you can. Michael, I wonder if Everton's new stadium will be an asset or a hindrance to them. Goodison was a wall of noise with the crowd right on top of the players. Everton will have to get used to playing in this new stadium. And again, historically, we've talked about it on this channel a few times, haven't we? Historically, when a team moves into a new stadium, they usually have a bit of a dip. They have a little dip in form and they finish lower the first season after. So, yeah. West Ham did when they left the Upton Park. City did when they left Main Road. I think City went from 9th. I think they were 9th or 11th at Main Road, something like that, mid-table. And they went to 16th in their first season at the City of Manchester Stadium. Pup, Daz, possible sponsor. Whiter than white. Daz. Is that still going, Daz? Washing powder. Callum the Red, Brighton are winning today. We all know this. And to be honest, Spurs didn't. Spurs didn't what? St Mirren, flick on. Rangers got 90 seconds left to try and pinch this. AFC Half, Premier League Dad, what's your prediction for the Palace game? 2-1 Forest I went with, mate. AFC Half, that weren't a dive, he got stood on. Behave yourself, he got stood on. He got stood on. He was diving around all game. Callum, Spurs didn't start slow. They did actually. Spurs were second in the last season at White Hart Lane. They finished second. And then they finished sixth their first season at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So second to sixth. Dave, looking at the new stadium, Key, I think the noise will reverberate around the ground. I feel the fans will make it a fortress. Listen, Everton fans will make a lot of noise, an awful lot of noise. They always do. They were terrific at Goodison. I heard the 1878s, the fan group, have been putting flags on all the, or not all the, I don't know if it's all the chairs, but certainly a lot of the chairs, thousands of the chairs at the stadium. They've been out there putting the flags on, to try and help create this atmosphere on the opening day. So it's going to be massive for them. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely massive for them. And it's really, really important that they get off to a good start for sure. Knick-knack, the trouble is the boos will reverberate well too. Christ, yeah. Boos will bounce around that stadium. Do you know what I really think it's going to be more about in winter? Imagine when it gets to winter and that like biting cold air comes in off the docks. Oh, it's going to be freezing in there. It's going to be absolutely Baltic. Wrap up warm. You'll be after getting your Bovril and your tea then. Something to warm you up. Right, St Mirren 1, Rangers 1. Last kick of the game. It's a corner to Rangers here. Tavernier's going to take it. Are we going to get a winner? Last kick of the game at St Mirren. Ball whipped in. Flicked out. Referee, I think he's going to blow up. And he has done. That's it. Russell Martin, disappointed. I think he's going to be on a tightrope now. He's got to somehow get a result in midweek against Club Brugge. Otherwise, he probably loses his job before the Celtic game. They've got the Old Firm next week. Rangers have been shot. They've 3 draws in a row in the league, and they've been smashed in the Champions League. It's a terrible start for Russell Martin, and yeah, he might not make it to the Old Firm next week. Lou, who are you watching here? I'm watching the last bit of St Mirren against Rangers, and I'm switched it over now. There you go. Let's get it turned over to Everton against Brighton, which kicks off in 4 minutes, right? Yeah, 4 minutes. Gav's highlights. Wasn't Everton and Liverpool meant to be sharing a new stadium on the Mersey Riverside? No, Everton and Liverpool, there was talks about sharing a stadium at Stanley Park, but it never really quite, took off. Oh, here we go. Here's the flags. Here's the flags all going off. Oh, you just know. You just know this is going to be Dave Wilson, the 1878 are fantastic, Key. I just feel there'll be a great atmosphere. Wish I was there. Well, it looks a brilliant atmosphere. They're doing, all the fireworks are going off here now. Thankfully I've got the Brighton kit right. It's that lilac away kit. Tarkowski leading Everton out at their new home. Michael, Kieran, are you a Liverpool supporter? Are you, as a Liverpool supporter, envious of Everton? New state-of-the-art stadium, and do you wish that Liverpool had a brand new state-of-the-art stadium or an upgraded Anfield? Well, listen, Everton Stadium looks amazing. I'm not gonna detract away from that. Everton Stadium looks brilliant, and it's going to be a big thing for them to see whether or not they're able to settle in here and create the same atmosphere or a better atmosphere than they had at Goodison. But the real motivation for this is about them, catching up to Liverpool in terms of commercial, off-the-field stuff. This is the big thing for Everton, and trying to compete long-term with the teams at the top end. They've now got a stadium that you would think is compatible with that. So, no, I listen, Liverpool have upgraded Anfield. I wouldn't change Anfield for all the world. I think Liverpool have upgraded 3 stands there now. We might end up doing a 4th at some point. The COP potentially, depends on other factors. But Liverpool will, I am sure, at some point will continue to upgrade Anfield. We've got a brand new training complex, state of the art. I think Liverpool fans are happy with Anfield, and it's still considered, one of the biggest, most intimidating grounds in the world to go to. So no, I'm not jealous. I wouldn't change Anfield, but I am. I'm happy for Everton. Let's say that I'm happy for Everton. I think Everton will do well at the new spiritual home. But listen, for today, I'm rooting for Brighton. Dave Wilson, Key, your thoughts on the score, mate? Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan, Dave. I've never hidden that. I think Brighton will win. That's not because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I think Brighton will pinch it today. I just think they're a better side overall. We watched Everton last week. I listened to Toffee TV. Shout out to Ped and Baz. Listen to Toffee TV's feedback on the whole Leeds game and everything. Also, quite a few other Everton fan channels. I always listen to other fan channels. If we're watching a game, I listen to Brighton's fan channels, Everton's fan channels, to get a feel what your fans are saying ahead of this. And to be honest, it feels like last week Everton fans were very, very disappointed with how they played against Leeds. Baz on Toffee TV was saying that it was probably the worst half of football he's seen from Everton in years. It was that bad. And they didn't deserve anything. Leeds deserved to win. And I don't think you're going to get too many easier away games this season than Elland Road. I think that's probably one of the easiest away games you're going to get in the league this season, especially so far this early in the season. That said, I just think Brighton are a better team. They were really unlucky last week against Fulham. Threw it away in the last minute. They were 5 points off the Champions League last season as well. So you got to factor that in. They're a bloody good side. And, I just think Brighton will have the better of Everton today. But that would be my take on it. Let me know yours. I want to get your thoughts on it as well. I'm less interested in what I think. Let me know what you think. Lucas, Brighton's a good team, but sometimes it's surprising. They always seem to let victory slip away. They certainly did last week, yeah. DJ Dan Mercury says, just heard on BBC Sport they did keep the sirens. Yeah, good. As it should be. Gav's highlights, what are they changing Goodison Park into? Houses. No, Goodison Park's staying as it is, mate. The women's team, the Everton women's team is staying there. Callum the Red, it's so weird, innit? What are we saying, sorry? It's so weird. These shitters don't deserve a big crowd. Dave Wilson, your thoughts on Dibbling for Everton, mate? Top player. Yeah, top player. Really good young player. I think it might take him a year or two to get into the flow of things, but he's a bloody good player. To be a really good signing for Everton. I'm actually a little bit gutted. I wanted Liverpool to sign him. I'm not kidding. I wanted Liverpool. I expected Spurs to sign him, but I'd have loved him as kind of like backup to Salah, to let him in, to grow into the team. But we're off here. First ever game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It looks remarkably like Spurs Stadium. From the TV camera angle, it looks an awful lot like Spurs, doesn't it? It looks, I don't want to say generic, but you know what I mean? Generic, new stadium. I don't feel like it's quite got the Everton rubber stamp on it yet. It just looks like a new stadium. I think that might take some time, maybe a season or two, before it becomes Everton's own. I think they should get the blue nets back, Everton. What do you think about that, Dave? Do you think Everton should maybe get the blue nets back? I really liked that. MFC TV, what games are you doing today? I'm doing this one. I've got 3 games today, by the way. 3 games today. I've got Liverpool and Newcastle on Monday, doing that one tomorrow. Today, we've got this one. Straight after this, Fulham against United. And then straight after that, we're doing Serie A, Juventus against Parma. Torn says Russell Martin drops more points again. Rangers, St Mirren, 1-1, sacked soon. Oh, it looks like he's going. Nick Nack says 1-0 Everton, but I hope Brighton get the win. Dave says the new stadium, Key. Looks like the fans are closer. And yeah, the blue nets, I agree. Nice. Yeah, it does look like the fans are a lot closer. Much, much better. But let's see how they start. That's going to be the important bit. Taylor match reactions. I love Red Bull. I drink it every day. Nice. Lou, 3-1 Brighton here. Dale says 4-0 the Blue Boys. Clarkey, what's going to happen to Goodison Park? We've done that one, sorry. DN, what happened to Rio Ngamoa? His debut meant to be the best talent in the country, according to Liverpool fans. Well, listen, he's 16, mate. He's going to take time for Rio Ngamoa. Gav, did you watch our game Friday night, mate? I did, yes, I did. It was a really interesting game. Grealish does well here. Grealish doing very well here. That's the sort of fight Everton fans are going to want from him. That's much better from Everton. Much better. What did I think? I thought Chelsea were terrific going forward, but I thought you were really poor defensively. I think the fact that you could have conceded 3 goals against West Ham and it wouldn't have flattered them shows an awful lot about where Chelsea are right now. I imagine Chelsea will do very well and entertain this season. I think you'll score goals, but you'll concede quite a lot. So, yeah, defensively, all over the place. Robert Sanchez was all over the place. A Champong, Tosin, Chalobah. You've got a very decent defence, but it's not a championship winning defence. This is why every time someone says to me, Chelsea are going to win the title or Chelsea are going to compete for the title, I have to kind of chuckle and think, wonderful attack, yeah, it looks great. That's a foul, surely a foul. Shot from Everton, first shot on target from Illiman and Dye. Good save from the keeper. Dave just found you, Kee and sub, mate. I like your balanced approach. Oh, thanks, mate. Hey, listen, tell some other Evertonians, because I get plenty of stick off Evertonians who would say I'm not balanced, but I would argue I am. Gav, we've got an injury crisis in defence. We need to sign a new centre-back urgently. Isn't Fofana causing ructions at the minute? Isn't he having issues, saying he doesn't want to stay? DJ Dan Mercury, Dave, this is why I like this stream. Oh, cheers, Dan. I see we've got a couple of blues in there. At least I've got a couple of Evertonians on my side. Dave says Chelsea, too many players. Twisted Fate said, Gav, you can't sign a centre-back. Chelsea only buy wingers. Reese, oh, listen, stop doing that bloody Gyökeres celebration. He looked really nervous yesterday, Gyökeres. Manu King, is this AI? It is, mate, yeah. I am 100% generated by Grok. Chat GP Key. Oh no! Jesus Christ, here and old Barry very nearly breaking the deadlock there if he'd have gambled a bit more. Right, Brighton haven't really been able to get out. It's been all Everton in these opening 5 minutes. Here's Yankuba Minter. Oh, he skipped. Oh, just offside. Clarky, what's your prediction for Fulham against Liverpool? Fulham against Man United. Fulham against Man United, I think is going to be 2-2. Yeah, Fulham 2, Man United 2. DN, this striker for Everton looks the part. He's not touched the ball yet, has he? Tierno Barry. MFC TV, who do you want to win? Listen, I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, so I would be lying if I said I wanted anyone other than Brighton to win. The same way, whenever Everton fans watch a game involving Liverpool, they'll be wanting Newcastle to win tomorrow, even though Everton fans and Newcastle fans don't particularly get on. So yeah, no, of course I want Brighton to win. But I'm not going to lose sleep if Everton win. It'd be quite nice actually for Everton what the hell's that? He's passed it straight out of play. Has he kept it in? Just about. Yeah, no, of course I want Brighton to win. I'd be lying if I said I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm happy if Everton win. No, I will laugh the same way Everton fans will laugh if Newcastle beat us tomorrow. Oh, Pickford conceding an early corner here. Dave Wilson says, I can see Fulham winning 1-0 against United. Yeah, do you know what, mate? I've said that as well. Fulham they've got a cracking record at Craven Cottage. People keep writing them off. United did well last week against Arsenal, but Fulham, they beat Liverpool. They beat us last year at Craven Cottage. You were brilliant. They got a point against Arsenal. I think did they do all right against City? Fulham's problem last year was they kept doing really well against the top sides, and then they drew against Ipswich, they drew against Southampton, I think they lost against Leicester. They kept dropping points against the relegated sides at home. Gav, have you given up on Isak now, mate? No, listen, Liverpool will sign Isak. And that's not because Liverpool are he'll come to us. That's not me being arrogant or bragging or anything. I just think Newcastle will be absolutely foolish to try and keep him. Why would you want to try and integrate someone back in who doesn't want to be at the club? Once they've decided they want to go, just let them go. Just let him go. Like, there's a difference between saying to him, stick with us for this season. I know you want to leave. Stick with us for this season, and then next summer we can look at it, right? I think that conversation has already happened. I think from what he said and from what Eddie Howe said in his own press conference, Eddie Howe said him and Isak were speaking about him leaving last season. And by all accounts, it appears, like Newcastle said, listen, get your head on straight. Help us get Champions League football. Help us get, success this season, and then we can look at it. And now he's got to this summer, and it looks like Newcastle are trying to maybe break that promise again. So he's lost his head. Has he gone about it entirely the right way? Possibly not. But, I think respect is a two-way street. And I think if you look someone in the eye and you say, I will do something, and then you don't do it, you're perfectly entitled to be disappointed with that. Here's Tierno. Barry puts the ball out. That's disappointing from Barry, That's really disappointing. Ball got played into his feet. He had an opportunity to get Everton on the counter-attack there, and he passes it straight out of play. That'll be disappointing for the Everton fans, that. Dave says, we beat them 3-1 at the Cottage Key. You did, yes, I know. I was watching that game. Wasn't that a late one? I'm sure Mikolenko scored that game. I think Mikolenko scored one of the rare goals that he got. And then it was 1-1, and then you scored 2 late on, didn't you? Sure, one of them was... I think one of them was another fullback, was it? Was it Patterson or someone like that got a goal? But yeah, 3-1, I remember that. I was watching. We did that game on this channel. Twisted Fate. This is why gentlemen agreements have no room in football, to be honest, Keeks. Yeah, I agree. I disagree. I think gentlemen's agreements absolutely matter. That's how I think you should do things. Now, no problem formalising things and putting them into a contract. But if you look someone in the eye and you say, I'll do something, you shake the hand and then you don't do it, you are an unreasonable and unfair person. That's not the sort of person. And I think if that has happened, which certainly the reputable journalists seem to be saying it has, then, I think Isak's got every right to be upset. So, William, Palace v Forest, I'm watching it. It's a good game so far. This one's not been a bad game. We've not had any chances just yet in the opening 10 minutes. Everton have had a couple of opportunities to get forward on the counter. Barry maybe not quite holding it up so well. They've had one shot on target, Everton. Brighton have got down the channels with Minter a few times, but not really been able to get the ball in themselves. So both teams kind of still finding the feet in this one. Dave says, Key, Isak reminds me of when Lukaku was annoyed with the board, no players to help him. They were saying Barry was raw. I'm so happy he started him today. Yeah, there was rumours, wasn't there, that Moyes wasn't particularly happy with Barry in training. That not happy with his input or anything, just quality-wise. Still thinks he's got a bit of work to do before he's like Premier League ready. But I agree. Yeah, it's better that they've started Barry than they've got Beto in there, because Beto's not the long-term solution for Everton, is he? Let's be honest. He's not the long-term solution. DN, you kept Suarez when he wanted gone, so you can't say anything about us keeping Isak. That's different situation, mate. We said to Suarez, stay and we'll sell you next summer. We did. Yeah? It's the same thing with you and Isak. You said stay and we'll sell you next summer. It looks like you're trying to roll back on that. So it's the same sort of thing. You have to, if we're following the Suarez thing, then it's the same thing. You've got to sell him this summer. Twisted Fate, we're talking about millionaires, gentlemen agreements. I never trusted is my point, Key. No, listen, there's another shot on target for Brighton. Hayari, I think it was, with the shot. So we've had a couple of chances in this game, but only half chances really. No, I know, but honestly, Twisted Fate, I just think that for me, maybe I'm an idealistic type of person. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm an old romantic, right? I think if you look someone in the eye and you shake your hand and you say, I'll do something, and then you don't do it, you're a shitbag. I don't want to work with you. They're not the people you work with. You say you'll do something, you honour it. That's how you should be in life. If you formalise it in a contract, that's fine. That's no problem. Let's do that so we've got a bit of legal protection if things don't quite go right. But I've no problem putting it down on paper, but like as long as all contracts still have built within them effectively like a good faith clause. They all have within them both parties should operate with act with good faith at all times. That's why there's some contracts that have been deemed sort of not liable. It's happened many times where yes, it's been written down and yes, it's been agreed, but then a judge has looked at it and gone, actually, well, you know, you've not acted in good faith during this bit and this bit, so actually I'm going to deem that contract is no longer applicable. There's many times that sort of thing has happened. Not all the time, of course. You know, contracts generally are quite watertight. Adam Riddle, favourite kit. I like that Fiorentina kit behind me. You can't see it on YouTube. I've got the old Fiorentina Nintendo kit, the one that Batistuta scored in. I think it was it at Wembley against Arsenal? I don't think he scored in that one. I think it was Toyota, the one he scored in against United at Old Trafford. MFC TV says 2-1 Brighton for me. Minter to score both for Brighton and Ndai for Everton. Dave Wilson says, Key, what I like is reds and blues having bants, mate. Absolutely, mate. That's what it's about, isn't it? And also being brutally honest about your biases. Like, I'm not sitting here and trying to profess anything other than I want Everton to lose this. And I hope tomorrow, Dave, if you're watching it, if you've got time and you're watching Newcastle against Liverpool, come on and give me shit if Newcastle beat us. Because there'll be plenty of Newcastle fans, I promise you that. There'll be plenty of Newcastle fans giving me grief tomorrow. Because I've bigged Liverpool up all week. So I'm really hoping we back it up. DN, we never said that, mate. He wanted to stay, but Amanda Staveley promised him a big contract, then she left and he still expected it. Well, that's reasonable, isn't it? If an owner promises you that you're going to get a contract and then you don't get that contract and they say, oh, listen, yeah, well, she's not here anymore, you wouldn't just go, oh, is she? Oh, right, no worries then. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no, forget that contract then, no probs. You'd still be upset. Of course you would. Of course you'd still be upset. Twisted Fate, I 100% agree. Just to become a millionaire, you have to genuinely be a dirtbag at times. There's very little millionaires that aren't built up from being so. Yeah, do you know what? I'd agree with that. The few millionaires that I have encountered in my lifetime have all been... Not all, actually. That's a lie. That's a lie. I've met a couple that were actually very, very nice and very, very warm. And I would have trusted, no problem. But there's certainly the odd... probably the majority who are a little bit snaky, aren't they? A little bit snaky and would, you know, sell you down the river as soon as look at you. Your Samuel says it's the Isaac Derby tomorrow. Oh, yes. DJ Dan Mercury, Key, don't worry if Liverpool lose tomorrow, I'll remind you. Oh, no, I'm so gutted. Honestly, I'm so nervous for tomorrow, but so excited as well. It could go so wrong. DN, not really. She was a co-owner and she left, so that goes out the window. No, it doesn't, mate. No, it doesn't. If you're an employee of a business and you get promised a pay rise, and then that person who promised you the pay rise leaves, but your new gaffer comes in and says, "Oh, listen, we're not giving you that anymore." You think you'd just be sound with it? You'd just be, "Oh, okay, fair enough, no probs." You're lying, mate. You're lying. You wouldn't. You'd still expect it. Of course you would. It's totally reasonable to still expect it. Just because there's been a change in management doesn't mean they don't have an obligation to uphold the promises that they've made. And also, even if you think actually they don't have an obligation, even if you think they don't have like a legal obligation, I would say they have a moral obligation. And do you know what? And I'll go even further. Even if you think they don't have a moral obligation, even if you think, do you know what? Isaac's not got a right, he's not got a leg to stand on legally, morally, doesn't matter. I'd still look at it and go, well, hang on a minute. He's your best player, right? He's your best player. And if you take this course of action, it's going to really upset him. It's going to really upset him. So why don't you just, bite the bullet and just do it? Like, it'll keep your best players sweet. Sometimes you have to pull levers and do different things as a business to try and, just keep your best people sweet, keep them happy for a bit. I just think that's the smart thing to do. Samuel said I'd be mad if that happened to me. I think we all would. I really do. I think we all would. There's no way you'd be happy or content if you just got mugged off by your manager. Connor, thank you for that, Connor. Really appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Ben, I'm nervous for tomorrow too. It'll be so hostile. DN says he's not going to use because he wants to win stuff. It's the money, because how can someone be unhappy on 240 grand a week? Right. You're saying it like 100 and... Oh, here we go. Brighton are in. This is a big chance for Brighton. Mitoma. Shot. Oh, was it off the bar? I think it was. Big, big chance. First huge chance in this game. Mitoma dancing forward. He lobs it back over. A little bit like Letizier's goal, that one. Pulls it back over the head of Tarkowski. Was he onside? That's the question. Tarkowski didn't really cover himself in glory there. Pulls it back. Does this hit the bar? Oh, you better believe it does. Off the bar from Mitoma. First big chance at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. And it's Brighton's. Yeah, DN, listen, if he was going somewhere for the money, then it would be going to Saudi, wouldn't he? He'd be going to Saudi or Qatar. He's not going for the money. He's going because he wants to win trophies and win silverware, and he's not going to get that at Newcastle. He's going to get it at Liverpool, or at least he's got a better chance of doing so at Liverpool. I think most people would agree Liverpool have got a better chance of winning the Champions League and the Premier League in the next 5 years than Newcastle do. So that's why he's going to Liverpool. It's nothing to do with Newcastle, mate. Not giving him enough. I'm sure, same as all players. Again, it's not even a Liverpool thing. All players want, most players anyway, who are world class, and I would put him in that category. You would want him to, be challenging and ambitious enough to push for the trophies and the honours. That's what he wants. Brighton are in. Chance! Oh, and again, Danny Welbeck missed the sitter under 6 yards. 6 yards out. This is getting very, very tricky, this now. Danny Welbeck. Huge, huge opportunity. Mitoma down the right-hand side, causing bother again. He knocks not Illiman and Dye, it's Idrissa Gana Gueye, isn't it? He knocks Idrissa Gana Gueye off the ball. Ball gets played in just behind Danny Welbeck, who can't get over it. And he knocks it over the bar from 6 yards out. 20 minutes in, Brighton having two big chances. DN says no, because if we give Isak what he wants, other players will think they can do the same as him to get more wages. Again, that's not the case. Just because you put Isak on a decent wage, a fair wage, right? Just because you put Isak on a fair wage doesn't mean that you suddenly then get a raft of transfer requests, or contract requests from players. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Stu Mack, Isak was a talent at Sociedad again. If EPL clubs could scout well, they'd have got him then. Isak is light years better than Diaz, Gakpo and Nunes. It's probably not probably not an unreasonable shout at all, Stu. He was brilliant at Sociedad, wasn't he? Yeah, he's fantastic. Again, and that's another thing Newcastle fans keep saying, that seemingly Alexander Isak was this, poor player on the bench at Gateshead, and they just picked him up out of nowhere. What a fabulous player Eddie Howe's turned him into. And listen, he has benefited from being at Newcastle, of course he has. But they were still picking up a player who was smashing it in La Liga at 20, 21 years of age. Everton with the corner. Chance. Over the bar. It's going to be a goal kick. DN says, you don't even need Isak. Ekatiki's bagging him in. Well, we do, mate. We've sold 3 attackers. We've sold 3 attackers in the side. Well, we've sold 2 attackers, and we've tragically lost 1. So we're 3 attackers down, and we've got 1 in. So yeah, we absolutely do need centre forwards. Shu said John Duran went to Fenner and guaranteed Champions League. Newcastle sleeping. This is it. It's true. Plenty of good signings about, isn't there, Stu? Totally agree. Nick Knack says Moyes has been working on his moves. That's harsh. Moyes is rather trim for a bloke of his age, I think. I like David Moyes. I have no problem with Moyesy. DN says he scored 6 goals in 37 games in La Liga the season we signed him. Yeah, but he also scored 17 goals the season before. And he was the top scorer, and he was playing in the latter stages of the Europa League at 20 years of age. So again, let's not act like Isak was this absolutely, like, nobody knew him. You paid 60 million quid for him, mate, because he was one of the best young strikers in Europe. And he's gone on to become the sort of player that you thought he would be able to. You're now going to sell him for probably more than double that. It's no bad deal for Newcastle. It really isn't. Ben says, do you think we get Gay, Isak and another forward? Because for me, that's what we need. I think we get Gay and Isak. I don't think we get any more. There's still time. I mean, Everton have got to wrap Dibbling deal up. They've got some stuff still to go as well in this window. Brighton, I imagine, probably still do a fair bit as well. Here's Grealish. Chance. It's there. Grealish has put it in. Who scored it? Who's got the goal? It's Illiman and Dye. Grealish with the cross. Illiman and Dye with the goal. 1-0 Everton. There's the first goal at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and the stadium's erupted as well. Hey, and do you know what? Fair play, Grealish. That was brilliant from Grealish. That's the Grealish of all. That's the Jack Grealish from Villa. Absolutely brilliant, that from Jack Grealish. And Illiman and Dye getting in off the right-hand side. Far post, where he needs to be. That's the sort of goals that he's going to have to score more of this season. That's what you're going to need more of from both Grealish and Dye, because they haven't done enough of that for me in the last couple of years. Certainly Grealish at City, and Dye didn't get a single assist last year other than Dye. Here's Jack Grealish on the left. Let's see. Beats his man. Wonderful ball in. Lovely finish, that. Really, really good goal, that, from Everton. 1-0. Shit. Shit. Dave says, told you, Key. Grealish is back. Knick-knack, Brighton only have themselves to blame. It's true. It's very true, yeah. Brighton should have been maybe 1 or 2 up themselves. But listen, this game isn't done. This game isn't done. There's still time. MFC TV, still on track with my prediction. Just need Minter to score 2 now. Still a chance, yeah. Definitely still a chance. Hill Dickinson, William says, where do those 2 stupid names come from? Hill Dickinson are a lawyer's firm, mate. They're one of the biggest law firms in the country. So they have decided to sponsor this stadium, and that's where the name comes from. Callum the Red says that Everton crowd is quieter than a library. Well, I've got the audio turned off now. I heard it erupt just after the goal, but I haven't had it on other than that. Knick-knack, massive boost for Everton getting the first goal. Yep, first goal at the stadium. Illiman and Dye, big thing for Everton, that. Can they get the first 3 points, though? That's going to be the big question. Ben got Midtjylland, Strasbourg, Como, Fiorentina and Man United, both teams to score. Nick, how are we doing? Good to see you. Lewis, good to see you too. Dave Wilson says, Hill Dickinson are a local law firm in Liverpool. It's not just a local law firm, mate. They're massive. They've got, I think, dozens of offices around the country. They're one of the biggest in the country. MFC TV, what are your table predictions for the Prem this season? I've done a video on it if you want to check it out. I've got a video on the channel. If you click the channel, hopefully you've subscribed by now. If you've not, then go and check it out. I've got my full table predictions there. Shelley, Toffee Blue, come on, Illiman. Good to see you, Shelley. Cheers for liking and subscribing. Yeah, it's been a good start to this game. Have we had a goal in the Forest game yet? I don't think we have we? No, still 0-0 at Forest and Palace. But this one's been all Brighton, I'll be honest. This one, Brighton have had the most possession. They've had the most XG as well, and they've had 2 chances. One where they've hit the bar, and then Welbeck just under the 6-yard, just in the 6-yard box, putting it over. So difficult. Very, very difficult one, this, for Brighton to accept. LFC to win the Prem, says MFT TV. Yes, I did. Dave says, what I mean is why they sponsored Everton, mate. Yes, all right, right. Yeah, possibly so. I think they've got good local ties, haven't they, with the club. Michael says Illiman was the last player to score at Goodison and now the first player to score at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Well, many would say that he's the best player at the club. I had a disagreement with quite a few Evertonians this week on Twitter. always a good place for intellectual discussion, Twitter. Yeah, I said that Illiman and I needed to do a lot better this season for Everton. He was a player that in my opinion anyway, I think Everton need to expect more of him. It's a yellow card for De Kuiper there for a really poor foul on Illiman and I. Just rugby tackles him, De Kuiper. I mean, in fairness, that's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Illiman and I had hold of him there, but that's definitely a foul and a yellow card. It started off like a bit of a scrap. MFC TV, where did they get Ndiaye from? Ndiaye came from Marseille, but he used to play for Sheffield United. He was at Sheffield United, did very well in the Championship, got a move to Marseille, didn't quite settle in France, and then, came back to England, and he was Everton's top scorer last year, but he got 9 goals and 0 assists. And I said that I felt that he needed to do better. He needed to do better this season because as Everton's best player, I think they've got to expect more from... You have to expect more from your best players, don't you? And in my opinion, I think Illiman Ndiaye is a player who is very talented and should be doing better. Has he given a foul? Oh, he has given a foul. I don't know why Minter's fouled him there. Everton get away with one. Yeah, for me, Illiman Ndiaye is just... He's a really talented player, but he doesn't produce anywhere near as often enough as he should. Do you not get that feeling from him? Like, Monday night, I was listening to Everton fan channels telling me, they were all saying that Illiman Ndiaye was anonymous again. It happens quite a lot. It feels like too often last season, he just went missing. He just went missing and didn't quite show up all the time that they needed him to. No doubting he's got a talent and ability for sure. Just no 0 assists for a player of that ability is mad for me. And I would go as far as saying, I think Lindstrom, Jesper Lindstrom, who was garbage. Jesper Lindstrom got double the chances created last season with half the time on the pitch of Illiman Ndiaye. So he just doesn't do enough with the ball when he gets it. Queso smuggles pigeons. Has the Albion got a chance to win this one? Really pulling for the lads. Yeah, I think they do, mate. They've hit the bar. They've had a decent start to the game. Everton have gone ahead. Obviously, they'll be disappointed with that. But listen, Brighton, this isn't the end. I think there'll be more goals in this one, whether it's for Brighton or Everton. But yeah, Everton will be pleased. Brighton will be content with the performance, disappointed with the scoreline, I would imagine. MFC TV says, I'll get the Forest game on now. Keep you updated. Cheers, mate. Thank you. DJ Dan Mercury, I'm beginning to think that I was wrong about Grealish. I'm not convinced yet. Lucas Moore says, Brighton is like a team that has no intention of playing football. Nick Nack, you aren't going to get many assists when you only have Beto and Dominic Calvert-Lewin to settle. Well, I know what this is why I said forget the assists. Completely forget the assists. Just focus on chance creation, right? Illiman Ndiaye was not in the top 5 chance creators for Everton last season. Now, how mad is that to say? Doesn't create anywhere near enough chances. For a player who's a creative player, an attacking player, he didn't create enough chances for me. And that, again, it's going to sound like a criticism, but I think you've got to expect more of your best players. It comes from a place of thinking he's a very talented player and should do more. He's got to do better. Here's Minter. Chance for Brighton. Hit it. Hit it. Welbeck. Why are they trying to walk it in? Hit it. Yeah, I was going to say, there was six players who got more chances created than Illiman and Dyer last year. And those were, by the way, I think Mikolenko, Ashley Young, Lindstrom, McNeil, Decore, Mikolenko, Young, Decore, McNeil, Lindstrom, and someone else as well. I think he was 6th or 7th in the Everton chances creation. I was a bit like... Yeah, Barry up front, Shelley. Tierno Barry. Chances created in this match, Yankuba Minte 3, Garner, Grealish and Bart Verbruggen with 1 each. So Yankuba Minte, it's all coming through him. And again, this is it. I think people say, don't watch the game with stats, watch it with your eyes. I get all that, right? But anyone with a pair of eyes could have told you that the most dangerous player in this game so far has been Yankuba Minte down that right-hand side. Everything's gone through him. He's created a good few chances for Brighton. And I'm saying Illiman and Dyer needs to be a little bit more like that for Everton. Too many times he just isn't doing it. Too often he goes anonymous. Too often he just disappears when his team needs him. So, yeah, that's why I think Illiman and Dyer needs a little bit more of what he's just done then, which was absolutely terrific. Nick Knack says, look how simple Everton's goal was. DJ Dan Mercury. Everton again, straight from the edge of the box from... Who's that? Idrissa Gana Gay, just wide. No, it's Irabunam. Tim Irabunam. Does very well there, Irabunam. Really well, actually. Again, there's been talk about Irabunam going out on loan, but if he can do that more often, he can add goals to his game. That's really good. Really good play from Irabunam there. Nick Nack says, look how simple Everton's goal was. I know, and I think that's something that you've got to praise Everton for, but you've also, I think Brighton will be looking at that and going, sweet Lord, like that is literally the most simple goal we've conceded here. I'll keep you updated on the Fulham and Manchester United team news as and when that comes in as well, of course. If you're new around here, please do give us a like and a subscribe. We're live every single day. We're doing Everton next week, by the way. Next week, Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Wolves against Everton at Molineux. I'm going to be live for that one as well. So if you want to watch along Everton at Wolves next week, give us a like, give us a follow, and a subscribe if you're new. Good defending by Everton. Brighton pushing forward now. Can try and pinch in an equaliser before half-time, possibly. Shelley, is Dunk still at Brighton? Yes. Yeah, Nick Nack saying Brighton playing into their hands. We've seen this before. Yeah, it's they need to go a little bit more direct here, Brighton. They're trying to break the lines and pass through, and Everton are just crowding it out at the back. Everton are just packing bodies back there and doing really, really well. They're working really hard. But I think Brighton need to go a touch more direct. I'd try and get the other lad on. What's his name? Cheers, Shelley. Thank you. What's the Greek lad who they've just brought in? Kostoulas. Brighton pushing forward here. Good tackle. Really good tackle. Ball in. Is it going to be a corner? No, Pickford comes out and claims it. Be yourself, Dylan says Tottenham's next 3 games. Easy peasy for them. FM No Casual, so many red cards. D28, Ren got 2 red cards in 11 minutes in their game. Only 30 minutes being played. Do you do FPL? I do FPL, yes. If you want to join our Premier League Dad FPL League, by the way, we've got a link on our YouTube channel. Go and check it out. Premier League Dad. And you can join our league and see if you can beat me. I'm sure you will. But we're giving away retro footy shirts throughout the season. It's free to join. If you've got an FPL team, then yeah, go and join. The link to do so is on my YouTube channel. You can add your team to our league and see if you can beat us. See if you can win the league. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Knick-knack, Brighton have to make 20 passes to create a chance. And in part, though, that is because of how well Everton are defending. You've got to give praise where it's due. Everton have defended really doggedly. MFC TV, 1-0 Palace. Who scored? Sarr. Ismaila Sarr. I've picked him as well. Ismaila Sarr, knick-knack. 1-0 Palace. Here's Van Hecker. Shot from distance. Oh, off the post again. They've hit it again. Oh, Brighton. Jesus Christ. How many times? Van Hecker with the shot. Smashed off the woodwork. Good grief. Big deflection again off Jack Grealish, I think, of all people. Was it off Grealish? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, off Grealish's arse. And Pickford just can't quite get to it off the post. And Brighton have hit the post twice in the opening half here. Good tackle from Tarkowski as well. Woodwork again. Everton riding the luck, says Knick-knack. D28 says you're 14th in the FPL. Not too bad. I've still got a lot more to play as well today. Knick-knack. Good effort from Pickford to get there. Just wasn't quite able to get it over the line. Let's watch Sarr's goal here. Let's see this. Devaney, Sarr, good finish. That's a great finish. Honestly, I don't think they'll miss Eze at all. I really don't. Sarr, he's a wonderful player, him. Very talented player, Ismaila Sarr. William Smurf says, crossbar challenge for Brighton, anyone? Tell you what, there is a little bit of an undercurrent here, though. I will say that Timur Abunam's just been booked by the referee. There is a little bit of afters between some Brighton and Everton players. Some sort of late tackles going in after the ball's gone. Timur Abunam, the latest one there, just leaving one on. I think was it Ayari that? I think it was Ayari in midfield. But Timur Abunam's been booked. The Kuiper's been booked. Abunam got booked in the Leeds game as well. So 2 games, 2 bookings. Sure, David Moyes won't like that. He used to be very big on players not getting cards, keeping the discipline. Oh, Jack Grealish has been fouled. That's going to be another yellow card and probably deserved for Mats Vifer. It is, yeah, another yellow card right here. Clayton, a fact about everyone who won yesterday in the Premier League, they all got a clean sheet. It's true enough. Ryan says, does anyone know what's happening with Gay? Are they just accepting he leaves for free next year? No, Parish has said he either signs a new contract or goes. Basically, anyway. Nick Deck says, woeful defending from Forest. Now, Jack Grealish is playing well so far. William says, could Sells have done better with the Palace goal or not? I don't think so, no. I don't think so. I think Sarr catches it right. It's like it's a bouncing ball, isn't it? And it just bounces up and he knocks it back almost the way the keeper's... He would have to get his whole body weight the other way. Oh, Brian! Oh, very nearly. Chance. Oh, Everton, very nearly 2 up there. They've started really well in this first half. Shot from distance, miles wide from James Garner. Shelley says, how's KDH doing? Keenan Dewsbury Hall hasn't really had too much of an impact, I don't think. I think it's mainly been Jack Grealish. Did Dewsbury Hall put that ball in, though? I think he did, actually. I'll take it back. Dewsbury Hall did stand the ball up to Jake O'Brien there. So a couple of half-decent little bits. But I think the danger man for Everton has certainly been Jack Grealish. For me, he's been Everton's best player in this half, Jack Grealish. And this is from someone who said I didn't think he'd be a very good signing. And I still don't think he will be, for what it's worth. I still don't think he'll necessarily be brilliant. I think he could have got better value elsewhere. But for what it's worth, I am holding my hands up. I'm saying, he is someone that has started very, very well in this game. Nate says, I need Brighton to win. Yeah, I could do with Brighton winning as well. Paul Hexham says the commentators called Sarr's goal a volley. They haven't got a clue anymore. Key says, what's the latest on Nuno? Is he getting sacked? I think he wants to get sacked. That seems to be the news coming out of Forest, is that he doesn't want to be part of this triumvirate with Marinakis and Edu. He doesn't want it anymore. He wants to... Yeah, apparently he's after another move back to Saudi. So it might well be that he's forcing the move to try and get sacked. Hey, Shelley, I'm a Liverpool fan at heart. I've still got to be honest. I'm sure tomorrow night you'll be hoping Newcastle beat us, won't you? This is what it's about. Bit of banter between Reds and Blues. Paul Hexham says, if it bounces, it's a half volley, mate. Swifty, just got to keep Grealish fit. I think it's about keeping him fit, but it's also about his confidence, isn't it? And playing him in the right position, getting him a team that... I feel like Grealish wants to be the star player a little bit as well, and you need to give him the confidence and encouragement to show that, actually, do you know what? We are relying on you. We need you to step up. Because he thrives in that environment. At least he has done at Villa. And I imagine he would do again at Everton. He's a wonderfully talented player, but I feel like if he's just a cog in a machine, which he was at City, it was never ever going to work for him. He needs to be the star. He needs to be the player who they rely on. He probably will end up stepping up more often than not. Right, we've got a minute or so to half-time here. 1-0 here. 1-0 at Palace. I predicted away wins in both. The lesson to be learned is... Don't listen to me for your hackers. But we've got 30 seconds left, and then we might just well have a little bit of added time, maybe. MFC TV says Portsmouth just missed 1-on-1. Portsmouth played yesterday against West Brom, didn't they? DJ Dan Mercury, Shelley, if we can get that Villa Grealish, we'll have a great player. It's true enough. Stephen, Scouse, I fell asleep. What was the Rangers score? It was 1-1, mate. They've drew again. 1-1 with St Mirren. Three draws on the spin, isn't it? And then obviously they got smashed in the Champions League. We'll be live on Wednesday night for them, by the way, against Club Brugge, so hopefully you're around for that one. Oh no! Brighton! Chance! What's he doing? What are you doing? Absolute morons, these Brighton players. James Tarkowski's just had an absolute disaster there. Passed the ball back to Pickford. Brighton gambled, and all you've got to do is pick your head up. Can't believe that. Can't believe that. Brighton wasting chances again. Honestly, if any Evertonian tells me you deserve to be ahead in this first half, you're lying to yourself. Deserve to be ahead. At an absolute minimum, this should be 1-1 at half-time. Brighton have wasted 3 absolute sitters. They've hit the post twice. They've missed a 1-on-1. And they've smashed one over the bar from 6 yards out. There's no way Everton can say they deserve to be 1-0 up at half-time here. Swifty, could Foden follow Grealish out of City? He's been out of favour for a while. I think Foden stays no matter what. But I fully expect Pep Guardiola will probably... Pep Guardiola probably leaves at the end of this season, I imagine. So, Foden stays. Brighton got to be real disappointed with them chances. Yeah. Got to be disappointed. Luis Hidalgo, Real Betis. Yeah, I've got my Betis shirt just there behind me. Nick Nat says credit to Pickford for making the save. Yeah, Pickford reads it well, it has to be said, but... Half-time, anyway, there you go. Half-time in this one. Everton 1-0 up. First game at the Hill Dickinson. Everton 1-0 up. But probably not deservedly so. If we're being brutally honest here, Blues. Come on, if we're being brutally honest. I think 1-1 wouldn't have really been... Listen, 1-1 probably would have been fine. I think 1-1 would have been fair. But if Everton found themselves 2 down, or behind, let's say, I don't think they could have complained. They couldn't have complained. Everton's goal was very well deserved. They scored a very, very good goal. Not hating on that at all. But Brighton have... Brighton have carved them apart at times and just not been able to finish it. It's been difficult for... it's been poor from Brighton, actually, in terms of finishing. So, Everton... Hey, listen, if you want to just look at it from a pure thingy point of view, Everton have scored, Brighton haven't. So, for that reason, they deserve to be ahead. Half-time, 1-0 at Selhurst Park as well. Dan Mercury says we'll take it. Shelley says we deserve to be winning. Red Shite went in the net. Oh, ours went in the net. I thought you said Red Shite then. Ours went in the net. I'm the Red Shite. Nick. Sociedad winning. Are they? I don't know. I've not seen. Swifty, Brighton the better side, but not by a lot. I think a draw would have been probably the fair result at half-time, based on what we've seen so far. Eddie, I need Brighton and Real Sociedad just to score for some cashola. Lovely. Well, good luck with it, mate. Good luck with it. If you're new around here, again, I'm just going to suggest it. Please, if you haven't already, give me a like and a follow and a subscribe. It really, really does help the channel. I watch football every single day. My name's Kee. I watch footy every single day. And we talk football. We talk all sorts of football, all sorts of teams. I watched the Championship, League 1, League 2, the National League, the Premier League, La Liga, Ligue 1, Serie A. Not the Bundesliga anymore because a certain someone has got all the rights to that, so I won't be watching the Bundesliga. But we'll be watching everything else. I might be watching Sporting against Porto next week. Lots and lots of good football that we watch on this channel every single day. So if you like watch-alongs, if you like talking footy, if you like a nice community with lots of different football fans of all different types of clubs, give us a follow. It massively helps. Tracy, if Brighton lose today, we win on the Carabao Cup round 2 on Wednesday to give us a boost. Who have Brighton got on Wednesday? I think Brighton... Is it Oxford you've got? Are Brighton away at Oxford? I think you've got a decent away game, haven't you, on Wednesday night? I'm sure you have. I think it's Wednesday. Dave, my heart teams are Tranmere and Everton, Key, mate. Tranmere. Lovely. DJ Dan Mercury, Key, if Everton win, you have to dance to Z Cars. If Liverpool win tomorrow, I'll come on your stream and dance to You'll Never Walk Alone. You can't dance to You'll Never Walk Alone. Fish, hi, how's it going? Good to see you. Dave, hi, I was born a stone's throw from Prenton Park. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Louise, what team do you support? I am a Liverpool fan, Louise, but we've covered an awful lot of Scottish football on this channel. We've watched... Yeah, I am doing Rangers Celtic. I'm doing the Old Firm next Sunday. Rangers against Club Brugge on Wednesday night. We watched Celtic against Kairat Almaty in midweek as well. That was an awful game. Celtic against Kairat at Parkhead. Finished 0-0. They were shocking. So, lots and lots of good games still to come. Swifty, add some boxing, Key. That would be interesting. Problem with boxing, Swifty, is they're all late, aren't they? They're all late. I've got a 4-year-old little girl asleep next door. If I start screaming and say, "Go on, hit him, deck him," it's bad enough during the day, but I can't really do that in the night time. So yeah, my missus will divorce me. Paul Hexham, I reckon Palace might be confident enough to finish in a European place. I think Palace' best chance of Europe is probably going to come from winning the Conference League at this point. But I don't know, hey, maybe you're right. Louise was terrible. Well, it's the early game on Tuesday night, isn't it, Kairat? I'm sure Celtic play Kairat on Tuesday night, early game, so that'll be a very, very decent one to watch as well, maybe. Can you do it in Kazakhstan? Can you get the can you do it on a wet and windy night in Kazakhstan? D28 says Jonathan Rowe was signed for Bologna. FM No Casuals risk it for the divorce, lad. Paul Hexham says Ekatike hat-trick and Salah brace tomorrow. Gordon for Newcastle. 5-1. Bloody hell. Don't think it'll be that good. Chimey, best ever Merseyside derby matches. That's a good point, I guess. Listen, we've got plenty of Everton fans in. I would say, from my point of view, as a Liverpool fan, the best derby matches were the Gary McAllister one. That was the one that I always... And probably the Origi one, where Klopp runs onto the pitch. So, that one, the McAllister one. What other one would I say, to be fair? There's been quite a few. Yeah, they are the two that stand out anyway. McAllister, certainly the McAllister free kick and the Origi one. But we've had a few others over the years. Everton, you'd probably say the... Kevin Campbell one at Anfield, certainly the Carsley derby, the 3-0 when Andy Johnson scores and runs off like that, giving it that, doesn't he? Yeah, Everton have done us a few times at Goodison. Always a difficult game at Goodison Park. I imagine as it will be at the Hill Dickinson. FM No Casuals, what's worse is, as we both know, Kairat aren't even the top team in Kazakhstan. As we both know, yeah. As us Sados both know, because we regular bet on the Kazakhstan League. We know that Kairat aren't even that good. Dave Wilson says, we are at home against Mansfield on Wednesday. Yes, I think that one's... It's not live on telly. I don't think it is live on telly, actually, Everton. But... Oh, no, it might be, actually. I think you are live on telly. Shelley, the 4-4, of course, yeah. The 4-4. DJ Dan Mercury, so what about the 1U122? The 1U122? What about the one I 122? Dave Wilson, Dunk Ferguson, brace key, mate. Oh, yeah. Big Dunk. Used to release his pigeons near me, him. Paul Hexham said it better be 5-1. I've got a tenner on at 50-1. You've backed 50-1 Liverpool to beat Newcastle 5-1 tomorrow. Christ, mate, you're throwing money away. Do you know what I did see as well? I don't know who it is who's doing it, but there's a certain bookmaker, let's call it, who are offering 80-1. I think it was 80-1 odds for both teams to get a red card tomorrow, Liverpool and Newcastle. DJ Dan Mercury, the last derby at Goodison, yeah. The last derby at Goodison, and that was the last ever goal scored under the lights, wasn't it, at Goodison Park? The last ever night goal scored under the lights at Goodison was Tarkovsky's in the 96th minute. I was so gutted. In fact, that was one of the very first games I did a watch-along for, was Tarkovsky in the last minute. Killed me, that. Absolutely killed me. Michael, it looks like the race for the autos in the Championship is wide open. I don't think the pre-season favourites Ipswich Town will get the top 2 places with 2 draws and 1 defeat in 3, sitting in 18th. Still early days, mate. Still very early days. Plenty of teams come from nowhere and got that one. The automatic and the playoff spots. William, Key, I'm expecting for you to cover the snooker next. Snooker watch along. Hey, that might be a niche. Maybe that's a niche I need to tap into. Snooker watch along. Pedro Lover, why are people talking like Newcastle are felons just because they foul a few times? I don't know, I was going to say everyone's talking like Joe Linton's going to commit GBH tomorrow night. Was it the 5th? Was it 98th minute? It was as well, wasn't it? It was 6 minutes of added on time and he scored in the 98th. You big rats, you. Shelley says, yeah, love snooker. Yeah, I don't mind snooker. I like playing snooker. I'm probably not really a snooker watcher, per se. Not anymore. kind of lose faith in snooker a little bit, because O'Sullivan wants to retire, but he's still the best player in the world, isn't he? He's just like, oh, do we have to keep being world champion again? Like, every interview Ronnie O'Sullivan gives, he's just like I don't want to do this anymore, but the quality, the standard coming through is just so bad, and like, if I can keep winning and keep being world champion, then why wouldn't I? So, like, fair play to him. Kind of ruins the sport a little bit. Chimey, are United really in for Camavinga? I believe so, yeah. Camavinga. There was rumours about Angelo Stiller, but I imagine not. Dave Wilson, Key, you've had enough extra time, longer than normal with Klopp. Yeah, we have had a few like that, haven't we, to be fair. Joshua Miller, Everton 1-0. Everton in front, but did he deserve to be in front, Josh? That's the question. Nick Nack, Ronnie would be lost without Snooker. Snooker would be lost without Ronnie. DJ Dan Mercury, next someone will suggest a golf watch-along. Oh, God, any sort of... Yeah. Golf, snooker, darts watch-along. I bet darts watch-along would actually be quite good, to be honest. That one's a bit more intense, isn't it? Paul Hexam tap into the darts too, you called it. FM No Casuals, 5-1 is wild, but what can I say? I am hoying 6 falls in the Estonian second tier. Oh... Mate, I love it. I love it so much, but it's grim. It is grim. Swifty, Stiller gets horrible stick because of his snout. People can be cruel at times. I mean, I'm sure he's laughing all the way to the bank, can't they? I mean, at the end of the day, I've never known anyone to comment on someone's appearance and be totally, like... Again, how many people have, like, picked the bones out of how you look? And you look at them and they look like the back of a Volkswagen. Dave Wilson, Key, how about tennis watch along? Out to left field. Josh Miller says LFC 2-0 tomorrow. LFC 2-0. What do you think about Fulham and United this afternoon? Nick Nack, Ronnie O'Sullivan's been saying he wants to retire since 2012. He has, yeah, he has. He's been at it for a while, hasn't he? Still is a wonderful player though, isn't he? Oh, FM No Casuals, are you on Cluj as well? Otelul Galati and Cluj in the Romanian League. Cluj getting battered 2-0. Honestly, never ever bet. It's the worst thing going. Onye, Tyler Diblin, 42 million. I like him, he has talent, but I think it's a lot. Will it be worth it? Tyler Diblin, I think, will prove to be worth it for Everton. Yes, I think he's a very, very talented player. He is a really, really talented player. I think it'll take some time, though, and that's the one thing I would say is Everton fans need to probably give a little bit of patience with. They probably do need to put some time into just acknowledging it's going to take him maybe 2 years to get back to, or to get to a level where he's producing assists and goals in the Premier League. He's not that just yet. And the reason I say that is because he had a real purple patch for Southampton last year. Around the time, you might have remembered, one of the games that really stood out for Tyler Diblin was when he went to Manchester United. Southampton got beat 3-1 in the end, but they were 1-0 up for a big chunk of the game, and Tyler Diblin just absolutely terrorised them. He was brilliant. He was absolutely fantastic. And he got called up. I think he was in the England under-19s, and he got called up to the England under-21s. And within about a week of being called up to the England under-21s, they demoted him back down to the under-19s because he wasn't really ready. Listen, I'm assuming that was the reason. I'm assuming that was the reason that he wasn't ready. It might not have been the case, but he went from the under-19s up to the under-21s and immediately got knocked down again. And then he subsequently wasn't picked in the squads for either the under-19 championships or the under-21 championships this summer. So it was I think it was a chastening experience for the young man this summer, and he needs to go and start afresh somewhere else, and Everton's probably going to be a really good place for him to do that. So Chimey, United winning 2-0. I'm even backing it. Gavin Cunningham, the two defensive midfielder thing is killing Everton. Keeps them too deep. It's an awful tactic. Well, Moyes, he doesn't like risk, does he? He's not about that risk. He wants to keep Everton solid at the back, and it's going to take some time for him to adapt to playing slightly differently. I just don't think he will. Nick Nack, Moyes loves defensive midfielders. His tactics make Southgate look adventurous. FM No Casuals, clues, you're on my banned list. I should have stayed away from him after the Hacken game in midweek. Right, Hinchelwood coming on for Brighton. I assume that's for De Kuiper, maybe. It would make a lot of sense if it's for De Kuiper. Is it? Who's he brought him on for? Let's see. Hinchelwood for... Come on. Who have you brought him on for? I think it's going to be... Is it going to be 2 changes? No. No, it's just a 1 change. But we've not had confirmation what that change is. So let me have a look. And I'll see what the change is. But I think it's Hinchelwood for... It would make sense if it's for De Kuiper, given that he's been booked already. I would fully expect that's the case. Well, it might even be for Weaver, actually. I think it's more likely to be for Matt Weaver. Right, Brighton coming forward here. Here's Minter. Oh, he's in the box. Great play. Oh, honestly, he's causing chaos down that right-hand side, Minter, already. Knick-knack, injury. I don't think it is injury, no. I think it's the fact that he's on a yellow card. They've got Mats Weaver on a yellow card. And they... Oh my God, it's Carlos Baleba. Why has he took Carlos Baleba off? Why has he took Carlos Baleba? Jesus, I don't know about that. Do you know what? Again, that's one of them that he's wanted to go to United all summer. We've had talks about him, you know, being a little bit restless about the move and the lack of a move to Man United. I think he might just be throwing his toys out the pram a little bit there. Or he could have a knock. Yeah, he could have a knock. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but you do have to think about whether or not maybe Man United and that move was a factor. Shelley, need the right side sorting out. Yeah, I was going to say Minter is getting past Garner, and they're trying to double up on him, aren't they, with Tim Irabunen, but he's getting past them every single time. Twisted fate, they don't want him injured coming to United. Dave Wilson says Baleba off is good for the Blues, Key. That's very true. Very, very true. Wonderful player, Baleba. But I expect if Fabian Hurzeler's took him off, he's either got a knock, which, yes, would be a blow, or he's not been particularly happy with his input in that first half, and yeah, we'll see. Callum the Red says this is a Red City shell last. Callum, Dave, she meant your defence. Now. Dibbling's not done and dusted yet, says Nick Knack. It's not. No, it isn't. It isn't done and dusted just yet, but I imagine it's not too far off. Apparently they've agreed a fee, haven't they? So once they've agreed a fee, I imagine Dibbling and Everton will be a formality. It'll just be a case of the medical getting done. So it won't be too far off. William, that striker that Nottingham Forest signed, tell me about him. I don't know about him at all. Yeah, Callum Wendo. I know Callum Wendo. Talented player. Again, another one that might take a little bit of time to bed into the Premier League, but he's a good player coming in out of Ligue 1. Probably will be a backup initially, I would imagine. I think Chris Wood still starts most games for Forest, but I think it's about bringing a player in that can come in during those European games and still compete and give Forest something to think about up there. Gavin Cunningham, Tarkowski was awful the start of last season, so overrated. Well, yeah, sorry, Nick Knack. Was a bid accepted? I believe, or I was of the understanding that it had been. But I could be wrong. So, yeah, there you go. Everton have agreed a £42 million deal with Southampton for Tyler Dibbling. The deal includes £6 million in add-ons and a 20% sell-on clause. So it's actually a £48 million, right? Is that right? Christ. It's a lot of money. Nick Knack says defence isn't Everton's problem, though. Oh, I disagree. I think defence absolutely is Everton's problem. I think if you speak to most Evertonians, they'll say that they desperately need a right-back and probably a centre-back. Or at least definitely a right-back anyway. They're missing a right-back. And they can't really be in a position where... They've got Mikalenko and Asnu as the two on the left. And they've got Patterson and Coleman on the right. But Patterson, I think they've already determined, isn't really a right... Well, he isn't right for him. I don't think Evertonians seem to rate Nathan Patterson. And Seamus Coleman, God love him, isn't there anymore, really. He's more of a coach who can play. Paul, thank you for that, mate. Really appreciate those. Absolute star, mate. FM No Casuals, mad money for Dibbling. It is big cash, isn't it? Very, very big cash. Certainly for the player who played 33 games in the Premier League and has 2 goals. It's a lot of money, but he's a good player. Nick Knack, who was right back last season. They had Ashley Young at right back for most of last season. He obviously is now 40. He's in the commentary team today, for God's sake. And he's at Ipswich this season, isn't he? So, yeah, Ashley Young is... or was the right back for most of last season for Everton. Jake O'Brien, certainly towards the end of the season, he stepped in, but he's a centre-back by trade. He's playing right back today, but that's just because they haven't got anyone else there. And it seems to me, listening to a lot of Evertonians, that they're desperate for a proper kind of a right back by trade, you know, someone who's actually a proper right back, not someone who they've just foisted there. Is that in? Jesus Christ, I thought that was side netting. James Garner, 2-0. Oh my God. He's absolutely smashed that in. Sweet Lord. How's the keeper got beat from there? I looked at that and thought, that's got to go. That's side netting, surely. It took me a second there. I was thinking, what's going on? He's absolutely smashed that in. 2-0. James Garner, what is going on here? Oh, no, he's onside. There's no issue there. He's onside. I thought Tierno Barry might be off, but he's fine. They claimed offside, but you're not getting offside there. He's definitely on. He lays it off. Garner Gay plays it over to the right-hand side. Grealish lays it... But Grealish is going to get another assist here, isn't he? Grealish lays it off. Garner with the shot. Keeper, you've had an absolute... When I say you've had an absolute nightmare, mate, you have had an absolute nightmare. Oh, keeper... Who was telling me Bart Verbruggen's going to be the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season? You are having a laugh. Oh, absolutely shocking that. Shocking. You could pick anyone in this chat. They could have saved that. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Swifty says Everton can't attract an Eze, so they've got to buy talent to develop, in my view. I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Nick Nat keeper gets a hand to it, surprisingly. That's what I mean. If he gets done at his near post. I feel like he's got to do better there, the keeper. If you get him beat from there, and you get him beat at the near post, you've got to expect your keeper to save that. I'm sorry, that's poor. Really poor. Nick Nat, you can't blame the keeper for that. Behave yourself. You can't blame... Mate, you don't want your keeper getting beat from there. That's shocking. He's been beaten at his near post and he got a hand to it. a howitzer right in the bottom corner. No, mate, that was shocking. I disagree. I think you've got to expect better from your keeper there. Low down to the near post, outside the box. You've got to expect your keeper, especially getting a hand on it. Absolutely have to expect him to save that. And now, listen, two to go here. Big hill for Brighton now, absolutely. Paul Hexham, draw against Chelsea, beating Forest. I'm telling you, pal, top 7 for Palace. Top 7, bloody hell. FM no casuals, nearly 50 million for Dibbling is wild. Ryan, can't get beat at your near post. I agree. Have to agree with that. Key, do you think the standard of keeper has gone down? Do I think the standard of keeper has gone down? No, I don't think the standard of keeper has gone. Oh, fucking Everton are in again here. Ilman and Dye carries it forward. And he loses it. It's that what I'm talking about. That it's a little bit. It's too sloppy. Ten, 15 years ago, even the lower clubs had good keepers. I think maybe we're just a little bit more critical of keepers now. And you know another factor as well, I'll say this as well, I think we expect more of keepers now. If you think about it, like you're saying 10, 15, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, keepers, Welbeck must score, what are you doing? Again, how bad is it? How bad is it? These are absolutely shocking. How is he a Premier League footballer? That is absolutely dreadful. That's like 3 times now Brighton have done this. Oh my God. He's had a disaster there. Yeah, we expect more of keepers now. How many times? Like, look at Trafford yesterday, right? Trafford is getting loads of stick for yesterday against City because he kept getting the ball passed back to him. 20 years ago, Cech wasn't getting the ball passed back to him and being expected to play as like a third centre-back. Being expected to take the ball to feet under loads of pressure. It never happened, did it? It was never that sort of a situation. It was always, if the ball comes back to him, leg it up the pitch. It doesn't really happen now. Keepers do that. They're considered limited. Like Donnarumma, good shot stopper, limited with his feet. And now he's getting forced out of Paris Saint-Germain. He might end up playing for United if he's not lucky. If he's not fortunate next season. Nick-Nack, Brighton aren't getting back into this, are you? No, are they? No, I don't think they are. Not if they're playing like that. Dave, Key, I told you, mate, the stadium and the fans are making a difference. Oh, is that Tierno Barry? Again, I feel like he should score that. 6 yards out, Tierno Barry has to get it. He gets his head to it, and he's basically unmarked, isn't he? Am I being too critical? Oh, I'm sorry, he's got to score that. Palace 1, Forest 1. Forest have scored. Hudson-Odoi. Lou says Jackie Grealish. Hey, Lou, you said Brighton were going to win this. You big turncoat. You big red shite. Paul, I think there's just more improved keepers around nowadays. Yeah, possibly. Right, Brighton coming forward is Minter. He's the only one who's looked like doing out all day. Minter in the box, must be. Oh, great defending that again. Who was that? Was that Michael Keane? Was that big Mick Kegger at the back? Fucking hell. This is bad. It's so bad. Come on, Brighton. Sort yourself out. DJ Dan Mercury, a gobshite being frustrated by the Toffees. Nothing new there. That's me. Absolutely. Nick-Nack, Brighton have had the chances but messed them all up. Key, there's better keepers with the feet, but there's not better shot stoppers now. Probably not by and large, no. But isn't that just because it was a specialty? Like back then, if you weren't a good shot stopper, you weren't really a keeper, were you? Right, here's the Hudson-Odoi goal. Let's see. Oh, that was a good pass, actually. I think it was intended for Chris Wood, but a good finish from Hudson-Odoi. 1-1. Brighton. Chance for Brighton. Good save from Pickford. Oh! How many times? Callum, next goal decides this game. Everton aren't good at all. So lucky today. DJ Dan Mercury, Key, get your dancing shoes on, mate. Honestly, I'm so annoyed. They've played really, really well, Brighton, in many parts of this game, and I've had loads of chances, and they've given it away with one. The first goal was good. The first goal was good. I'll concede the first goal was good. Second goal, so sloppy. What's the ref having a go at Pickford for now? What's he's having a go at Pickford for something. Shelley, Key, do you want Isak? I do, yes. I think we need him at this point. But yeah, no, I do. I think we should get him. And I hope we do get him. He's gone out on a limb for us at this point, so I feel like if we don't get him, we've kind of sold the lad down the river a little bit. We owe it to him to get him now, I think. Swifty says Brighton are missing a top number 9. Well, they've just spent a fortune on 2 of them. They had the lad who they've brought in from Nuremberg, who was a really talented young centre-forward, by the way, and then Kostoulas, who's coming from Greece. Knick-knack, nobody ever wins in a grey kit, do they? Or is it mauve? No, it's lilac, innit? It's definitely lilac. This ref's been very whistle-happy, I'll give you that. Swifty says the Greek kids aren't quite ready, I think. They've got to be better than fucking Danny Welbeck. And again, Danny Welbeck he did alright last season, Welbeck, but they've been shocking up front today. Gavin says Everton's spine is too slow. Keane, Tarkovsky, Garner and Irabunum. Yeah, I think across a full season it probably might be, yeah. Beto's about to come on here. I think probably for Tierno Barry. Barry hasn't had his best game today. It's not been his game at all. I think he's missed a big chance there off a corner as well, and he's missed a few chances in terms of like linking the play up. Brighton now starting to come back into this. There's half an hour to go, so I think Moyes is bringing Beto on with a chance of, or with the hope of maybe getting him to hold the ball up. Here's Minter. Oh, it's a corner. It's going to be a corner kick. Shelley, Brighton scouts, really good. 3 defenders are injured, Gavin. Knick-knack, Dibbling will suit Everton's tactics. That's a really good tackle from Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is 100% man of the match today. Like, it's not even close. If Everton do manage to pull off the win today, Jack Grealish is definitely man of the match. It's not even close. And that's from someone who's been very critical of Jack Grealish's move to Everton. And I have to say, he has made me eat my words today. He's been terrific. But still time. Come on, Brighton. Sort it out. That was good defending from Jake O'Brien again. Really solid defending there. Gav's highlights, that's the problem with Brighton. They look like world beaters one week and look like my son's under 8s team the next. Honestly, mate, they've just not been clinical enough. It's not even necessarily the general play. I feel like Brighton they've created chances and they've looked like, yeah, just amateur in front of goal. And amateur at the back. James Garner with the strike there, that can't be beating your goalkeeper from there. Keeper's got to do better. It's horrendous. Right, couple of changes here for Everton. Beto's going to come on for Tierno Barry, and Alcaraz, I think, coming on for Iliman and Dye. So like for like, really. No real changes, I guess, in terms of tactics. Just a couple of different personnel, but Iliman and Dye with the first goal at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Grealish pulling the ball back. Great assist from Jack Grealish, and Iliman and Dye sticking it away. And he's just been subbed off there. Dave says, Key, they're not clinical. That's their problem. I agree, mate. Absolutely agree. Nick Nack, how many times have we seen this from Brighton, though? It's a common theme. True enough. Yeah. True enough. Sheila, big Beto coming on. Beto last week, here's a fun fact for you. Last week, Beto lost the most individual duels, or might be aerial duels, correct, I tell a lie. The most aerial duels of any player in the Premier League last weekend. So if they're knocking it long and expecting big old Beto to hold it up, I think they might be pissing into the wind a little bit. Taylor H says, Brighton looks so meh. Swifty, I'm not sold on Brighton finishing in the top 7. Again, you know, 5 points off a Champions League place last season. They were really, really close, Brighton. Great play by Jake O'Brien at the back. Dave Wilson, Key, it's not the Hill Dickinson, just Hill Dickinson. Okay. I'll correct myself in future. Should have been 2-1 for Forest then, apparently, says William. Manchester United lineup is out. Okay, let's have a look at the Manchester United lineups. Swifty saying, I don't see a direct replacement for Pedro. That's probably true enough, yeah. Okay, lineups for Fulham against United. For Fulham, it's Bernd Leno in goal. At the back, it's Anderson, Bassi, Castagna, and Sessegnon. Tete, sorry. Is that going to be a corner or a goal kick? Goal kick. Yeah, Anderson, Bassi, Castagna, and Tete at the back. Then it's Berge, Iwobi, King, Lukic, and Sessegnon in midfield, and Rodrigo Muniz up front. For Manchester United, it's Bayindir, who starts again. Bayindir starting, and Onana on the bench. Brighton have made a couple of changes here. De Kuiper off, Kadioglu coming on, and Ayari off for Gomez. No, Sesko is on the bench. So Bayindir starts. At the back, it's Delict, Shaw, Yoro, Diallo right back, and Dorgu left back. Midfield of Fernandes and Casemiro, and then Cunha and Burmo and Mount. It's the exact same team as last week. Manchester United unchanged from last week against Arsenal. PJ Dan Mercury says, get it right, Bramley Moore. Listen, can't say Bramley Moore. Hill Dickinson have paid an awful lot of money for sponsorship. You can't start calling it Bramley Moore, they'll be upset. William says, Steve Parish was talking to someone just then. Maybe he's saying Gay is a Liverpool player. Swifty says, Dallo played last week. Oh, that's true, sorry. Yeah, Diallo coming in for Dallo. That's true. I apologise. Diallo coming in for Dallo. So a little bit more of an attacking change. That's good. That's positive to see from Ruben Amorim, because last week I felt like that was a little bit foolish, and that was the one thing that held United back. 25 minutes left here. Feels like a really pivotal next maybe 15 or so. If Brighton can pinch one and go into the last 10 needing a goal, there's still a chance. But yeah, next goal, next 15, decisive. It's going to be a good play that again by Pickford, really smart. Right, injury here for Everton. It's Tim Irabunum's gone down. Looks like with a bit of cramp. So, might be a change needed again for Everton. Again, just while we've got this break in play, if you're new around here, please do give us a like and a subscribe. My name's Key. I watch football every single day on this channel. If you like and subscribe, it costs you nothing. It takes you 2 seconds, and all it does is let YouTube know this guy's all right. He's okay. He watches football. He talks crap, but we talk crap about everyone. I'm a Liverpool fan, But don't hold that against me because we watch all teams, all Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, National League, La Liga, Serie A, bit of everything. We've watched every team, every league going pretty much over the last 8 months since I started this channel. Started the channel in January. We are very close to 6,000 subscribers and yeah, going good. Really appreciate everyone that's followed and subscribed and liked and everything so far. We're live next weekend for Everton away at Wolves at 3 p.m. That's a big 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Live straight after this for Man United away at Fulham, and then we're going to be doing Serie A tonight, Juventus against Parma. So lots of good footy on. Dave Wilson, Key, that's why Pickford, England's #1, mate. Yeah, he probably is going to be for the World Cup, isn't he? Pickford has the tournament experience too. Yeah, he was never... It was always going to be difficult for someone like Trafford or... Henderson could have. I think Henderson could have made a real claim for England #1 if he'd have had a big season for Palace in Europe and everything, but chances are I think you still stick with Pickford, don't you? William, what about the Australian League? Bet you haven't watched that. I haven't watched the Australian League yet, no. That's one of the few that I haven't watched. Although we have got an Australian fan on the channel who comes on quite regularly and says we should do one of the early morning ones, because there's like there's quite a lot of the Australian League that kicks off at about 9:30, 10 o'clock on like a Sunday in the UK. So, yeah, could work that. Dwight McNeil about to come on for Tim Irabunum. Gav's highlight says Pope is better than Pickford in my opinion. Yeah, Pope was, I think, a good keeper for quite a while for Newcastle, but I think there's a reason why he's, you know, you've got Pope and you've got Ramsdale at Newcastle, and neither of them are really set on that #1 spot. So I think that's why neither of those are going to be taken seriously over Pickford. Like, Pickford's not perfect, don't get me wrong. As a Liverpool fan, he's not perfect, but he is the best English keeper in the Premier League, certainly. In my opinion, anyway. Fred, what do you think about Spurs? Is that one of them trick ones? Like, what do you think about Spurs? Shit. What do you think about shit? Spurs. No, I like Spurs. Spurs are brilliant. Did a really good job on City yesterday. I had them for finishing either 5th or 6th. I can't remember. Either one of them. I had them finishing quite high up. Oh, you're a Spurs fan? Oh, good, okay. Well, no, I had Spurs finishing high up this season. I thought that they would be the biggest improvers in the Premier League, and it looks to be the case. I think under Thomas Frank you'll do really, really well. So, yeah, I expect Spurs will finish maybe 5th or 6th. Alex, how are things, Key? Very good, mate. How are things with you? I'm really enjoying this one today. Everton against Brighton. Not enjoying it as much as maybe I thought I would. I thought we might see a Brighton win, but hey-ho. Everton have probably deserved it. On the balance of this second half, Brighton have been fucking dreadful. Honestly. First half, Brighton were all over them. And you could have said at half-time 1-1 might have been the first score. But second half, they've been crap, Brighton. Absolutely shocking. Knick-knack Spurs could do with some signings before the window shuts. Yeah, I mean, they could do with maybe 1 or 2, but I still think even if they go into the window with the squad that they've got, if they go into the season with the squad that they've got, I'd still fancy them to finish ahead of United, let's say. Certainly 5th or 6th, I think, is doable for Spurs with this squad. They will miss Maddison, though. Here's Minter. Chance for Brighton. Cleared away again. James Tarkowski on the end of everything, clearing it away. Alex, where do you think Everton finish? It's difficult with Everton because you got to look at Everton through the lens of like who they could bring in between now and the end of the window. If they get the Dibbling deal done and they get maybe another 2 or 3 maybe through the door, you could look at it and say, well, they might finish like 14th or 15th again. It might be all right. But I think if they only get Dibbling between now and the end of the window, I still look at them and think they're a team that's vulnerable and could maybe be not down there, not like from a relegation point of view, but probably will struggle to make it beyond like 15th. Do you know what I mean? They're not gonna fly higher than that. There's too much. The squad's just paper thin, and a couple of injuries in the wrong place, and Everton are going to struggle. But let's not focus on that for just today, because they've played well today. They deserve the 3 points. Dave, Knick-Knack, depends on the European adventures, mate. DJ Dan Mercury coming from UK, that's high praise. Well, I mean, listen, I've seen people suggest Everton as high as like 7th or 8th. Some people saying Everton are going to get Europe. I've not seen Everton fans saying that, but then I think it was Rob Green. Rob Green did a prediction, and he did Everton like 7th. And I was like, has he hit his head in? Oh, Brighton, Minter, must be handball. And it is handball, penalty kick. It was a nailed-on penalty, that. They're going to claim it like Tarkovsky, but this is a penalty. It is a penalty, this. It's definitely a penalty. It's a definite penalty. Twice in a week now, Everton are getting done with a dodgy pen. Twice in a week they're getting done with a dodgy pen now. They're going to be raging, these Blues. Let's see it. I think it is a pen. Minter. Yeah, that's handball. Come on, that's a penalty. That's handball. And now we've got an interesting 15 minutes if indeed there is a goal. If he scores this, we've got a very interesting 15. That's a pen. Come on, that's a pen. That's a pen all day long. That's a penalty all day, every day. It's not even close. Of course it's a pen. Of course it's a pen. Why Tarkovsky like whinging again? Come on. It was a pen last week. It's a pen this week. Take your medicine. Dewsbury Hall giving the penalty away. Twisted Fate, was Arsenal's a pen yesterday, Key? No, definitely not. Not even close. Lucas, it's so boring the way these two teams play football. He's not going looking at it, is he? Oh no, he's giving the pen. Knick-Knack, there's only one goalie on the pitch. Here we go. Right, we're about to see now. Can Danny Welbeck put it away? Well bad. He's been shocking all game. Can he put it away and make it 2-1 to Brighton? To Everton. But put Brighton back in the game. Can he do it? Danny Welbad. Stick it away, lad. Right-footed. It's a long run up. He saved it! He's absolutely shite him! He's shocking! Oh, I told you! Danny Welbad. He's absolutely shocking. Sack him. He couldn't tell. Honestly, he might as well have said to Pickford, I'm going to put it over there. You just dive that way, you'll take it easy. I'm just going to pop it over there. Never looked like scoring. There you go, Nick. You called it. Fucking shocking. Absolutely shocking. Can't believe it. I could have scored that, says Alex. Anyone could have scored that. It's so bad. Shelley, dodgy refs. That's not... Nah, that was a fair pen, Shelley. Come on. That was a penalty, that. It was just a really, really bad penalty from Welbeck. Well, I tell you what, if you're Costulas, the young lad who's come in for big money, by the way, this is absolutely music to his ears, this. This is brilliant, because he's looking at it and thinking, Christ, if I can't get in ahead of him... Oh. Dave Wilson, Key, are you from Bolton, lad? I'm not, no. I'm not. I'm originally from St Helens. I'm a proper wool. I am an absolute wool. Make no mistake about it. There's Pickford's water bottle. He didn't even need it. He might as well have pointed. Nick-Nat, you can't throw yourself at the ball like that and save it with your hand unless you're the keeper. Twisted, nobody in chat is scoring against Pickford. Lucas, the penalty method is really stupid. Everything's gone right for Everton today. Everything's gone right. They could plat piss these toffees. Ben, I think Fabian Hurzeler should get more criticism. What do you mean they should get more criticism? He was 5 points off a Champions League spot last year in his first season in the Prem. What do you mean he should get more criticism? Have a day off, you. Have a day off. Dave Wilson, St Helens massive. Good for you, lad. Shelley, did Welbeck play for yous? No, Welbeck played for Man United. I mean, he's played for pretty much everyone, hasn't he? Arsenal, United. Oh, ball in the box. Everton might get a third here. I kind of hope they do at this point. Stu, did Brighton miss a pen? Yep, they missed a pen. Danny Welbeck. Crap he was, Stu. Knick-knack, on another day, things might have been different, but it feels like the football gods wanted Everton to win. Yeah, the stars aligned and everyone just took it. Oh, it's fucking so grim, that. It's so grim, because Brighton have been really good in different parts today. They've just not been able to actually put the ball in the back of the net. And I was so hoping they'd get a result today. But they can't even score a penalty when it's given to them on a plate. I was looking forward to watching a bit of Toffee TV getting all angry. Shout out to Ped and Baz getting all angry at the result, and what's his name, Mike and John. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John, back again. I was looking forward to them talking more about conspiracy theories and referees going nuts. But sadly, no, I'm not going to see that. I'm going to watch... Well, I'm not even going to watch it now. I'm going to be bitter. I'm not even going to watch it. Because they've got a lovely 3 points. They've ruined my weekend. Ruined my holiday. Brighton floats the ball in. Straight into Pickford's hands. DJ Dan Mercury, I think it's 3 from 3. History repeating itself. Knick-knack, happy for the Everton fans. They kind of deserve this. Twisted Fate, what will ruin Kee's day even more is Everton and United both win. Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say, that is absolutely right, by the way. If Manchester United win, and I've watched 2 hate watches, and both of them I've lost in, I'm not going to be happy at all. Dave, I'm a Wool 2 Key from the Wirral, mate, but live in Bolton now. All right, okay. Hey, Wolves United, nothing wrong with that. Gibbs White coming off for Amari Hutchinson here for Forest. Shelley, do you think that one against Leeds was a pen, Key? I do, yeah, I do. I think it was... The thing with it is, Shelley, is because it was a goal-bound shot, and it was coming at him from such a long way away. Doesn't matter that his arms were behind his back. He was leaning into it. So I think he's gained an advantage by making his body shape bigger and leaning into the ball from a long way away to block it with his arm, and it's a goal-bound shot. For that reason, I think you have to give that as a penalty. That one, it definitely hit his hand, and it was a goal-bound shot. So I think none of us really know what the penalty rule, the handball rule is, do we? None of us really know. And that's why we're all a bit annoyed and frustrated, because one week it's a penalty, the next week it's not a penalty. It's all these different rules that come into play, and they're all subjective. Like, was it a goal-bound shot? Was his silhouette natural or unnatural? Was it bigger? Was it, tighter? Was it within his the normal shadow of his body? How far away was it? How far was the ball travelling? All these different things you've got to weigh up, and I just think, yeah, there's a few things that you have to take into consideration, and there's been quite a few handball decisions I'd look at and say, I think you're unlucky. And that's probably one. But listen, both of them, if neither of them were given us penalties, I'd probably have been fine with it. But given that they have been given us penalties, I am also fine with it as long as they're given later in the season, if you know what I mean. Like, if Everton get the same thing happen later in the season, that's fine. I've no problem with that being a penalty, as long as they're consistent with that being a penalty with everyone else. I've no problem with that at all. But if neither of them had been given, then again, the same rule. Fine, as long as you don't give him for anyone else later in the season. Shelley, Blue Boys Network, love it. Yeah, that's it. Blue Boys Network, Mike and John. Good lads. I do have a laugh watching Mike and John when Everton have had a defeat. Lucas, the Brighton team starting to look like a set-up team. Nick Nack, I'm with Key. Has to be a pen. You're not a goalkeeper. I know it was a deflected shot last week. I understand that, but it was still goal bound. It was still going on target, and you never know what can happen there. Seamus Coleman coming on for Everton for the last 5 minutes. This is a nice moment. This is a touching moment. Seamus Coleman getting there. Shelley, isn't Luke Littler from St Helens? No, Luke Littler's from Warrington, but I think he trained in St Helens. I've lived in both. I lived in Warrington for a spell. I grew up in St Helens. I don't live there anymore, but I grew up in St Helens. Lived in St Helens for most of my young growing up life. Crystal Palace 1, Forest 1. Has that finished now? Can't have finished, can it? Swifty said, I would have given this one as a referee, but not the one at Leeds. That's interesting. Okay. See, so what I would say is, if I was a referee and I was objective, totally independent, let's say I'm not a Liverpool fan and I was able to referee this game, I would have given that one. I would have given the one against Leeds last week, but the ones that I'm not comfortable with are the ones like I don't know if you watched the Birmingham and Ipswich game earlier this season. It was the Championship kind of curtain raiser. It was Friday night football. Birmingham against Ipswich. Birmingham were winning 1-0, and in like the last minute of the game, Ipswich got a penalty. And it was a penalty where the ball comes over the guy's head. He jumps for the header, and he's got his arms up for leverage, right? The ball comes over his head, and someone heads it. It's not going goal bound, it's not going anywhere goal bound at all. But they head it, and I swear to God, it was about maybe... Hang on, let me put my hand there. It was about this far away from his head to his hand, right? And it hits the back of his hand. He's not even looking. It hits the back of his hand, and it's not goal bound. And I don't like that as a penalty. For me, I don't think that's a penalty, because I don't think you've gained an advantage from it. Them ones, I do think you gained an advantage because it's goal bound. Paul Fincham, big up the pickled egg. Hey, pickled egg. Everton are in here. Beto. Oh, nearly 3-0. Shelley, I don't get the handball rule anymore. It's too confusing. Yeah, I think most of us would say that, Knick-knack, standing up and making a block is one thing, but spreading your whole body out like a dying swan. Very poetic, Knick-knack. Is another, especially if it whacks off your outstretched hand. Twisted Fate, that one was BS, 100% Key. Seamus coming on. Knick-knack, I thought the Leeds one was definitely a pen too. He leaned towards the ball with his arm, so it was arm to ball. I think we'd all have views on it, wouldn't we? There's lots of chance. Oh, here we go. Everton are going to get a third here. They're going to get a third, I'm telling you. McNeil, shot, wide. Selfish that from Dwight McNeil. Swifty, Darman goes down too easy for me yesterday too. Agreed, thank you. I've been getting stick off Arsenal fans for saying that. Darman going down far too easily yesterday. 15 years of age, you should be knowing better. Shelley, I was born at home in Anfield. Oh, lovely. You were meant to be a red, Shelley. Swifty, I've watched Darman a lot. He gets a lot of those types of penalties. He's a lot like Grealish, I think, Darman, in the way he carries the ball. He kind of glides, doesn't he? But he's very, very, very light on his feet, let's say that. Knick-knack, today's pen didn't matter in the end. Exactly, yeah, it doesn't really make much of a difference anyway. Look, we'll talk about it, we'll dispute it. On another day, though, that could have made a difference. You would have to think that if that goal goes in with 15 minutes left, I imagine it's a different game. Probably is a different game, isn't it? Oh, that should have been a corner. That should have been a corner. Twisted Fate, most of the time, refs don't even understand the handball rule. They give handballs for things that are natural position. Very true. Dave, Key, thanks for the watch along, mate. Oh, listen, Dave, you don't have to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I quit my job to do this, Dave. Believe it or not, I'm a moron who quit his job. I was working in Liverpool city centre. And I quit my job to watch footy for a living. So, everyone watching this channel, you are helping in a small way make me, my wife, and my little 4-year-old girl, you're making our dreams come true, believe me. So, thank you so much. And if every time you like, every time you comment, every time you share, you're helping me out. So, I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Everton coming forward again. Oh, good save. 7 minutes, that feels a little bit harsh. Put him out the misery, ref. Alex Macklin, you have a great job. I don't have a great job just yet, believe me. If you saw how much actually you make from it at this moment in time, 7 and a bit, 8 months in. 8 months ago I started the channel. You don't make very much from it right now. But in time, it's growing, it's getting there. What did I used to do? I ran my own business. I had a business which... Ooh, that could be a yellow card. Maybe a second yellow, actually. No, just a yellow. Yeah, I ran my own business, sold my own business, and made quite a bit of money from that. And then I ended up working as a sales director in Liverpool city centre for like an advertising company. Did well for that for a while, but it was one of them where I've got a 4-year-old little girl, I've got a wife, and then, you know, you're getting up at 6 in the morning, commuting into Liverpool, you know, an hour and a half sometimes, and then you're working all day till 6, 7 o'clock at night. You come back an hour and a half, getting back at 8 o'clock at night. Little girl's already gone to bed, so I wasn't seeing her. And then on the weekend I was that knackered and stressed out from work. It was no real life. So I thought I'd rather... So I basically spoke to my wife and I said, you know what we'll do? This is what I'd like to do. I'd like us to sell everything, take a couple of steps back in lifestyle. Maybe we don't go on holiday for a year or two. Maybe we don't buy some nice clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Maybe we don't, you know, we ease up on the luxuries for a little bit. We had some lovely holidays, but maybe we ease up on all that for a while. There's a claim for a penalty here for Brighton. You're not getting it. I said, yeah, maybe we ease up on all that for a while. And that's what we've done. Sold everything. Downsized. And I do this for a living. She does something in relation to fashion. She's followed her passion. I'm following my passion. And we've said, do you know what we're going to do? We're just going to throw 12 months at this. For 12 months, see if we can make a living out of it. If we can't, we'll go and get jobs again. Everything will be fine. The channel might not exist after Christmas, folks. If it doesn't exist after Christmas, you know what's happened. I've gone back into the working population. But if I'm still here in January, then things are going okay. I can pay for beans on toast, if nothing else. DJ Dan Mercury, well done, Key. Knick-knack, is the wife still okay with it? She is, yeah. She absolutely... I mean, she loves what she does. I love what I do. I watch football for a living. It's a great gig if you can make it work. It's starting to make a little bit of pennies, but not a lot. Knick-knack, nice that your daughter gets lots of daddy time. Important at that age. Mate, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. During the week, we do loads. We go to the park. Especially now, while she's not in school and stuff. We go to the park. We go to, you know... We've been to Gulliver's. We've been to, you know, all these different places where she loves to go. So, it's all good. Shelley, can't believe I only just found your channel. And even though you're a copite, you seem fair. Thanks, Shelley. That's very nice of you to say. I'm no special. I knew you knew that anyway. What are we saying? Kjetil Vilanga. Where do you think Leeds will end up this season? Leeds, I would imagine, will be... I still think I think Leeds go down. And that's not really on a reflection of yesterday. I think Leeds were quite poor against Everton. They were quite fortunate in the end to get the win. So yeah, Leeds, I can't see staying up, sadly. I think Leeds go down. Ooh, Ruben Amorim has confirmed the reason that he has dropped Onana is a quote-unquote technical decision. Make of that what you will. Knick-knack for both of you. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've realised an awful lot that it doesn't matter how much money you've got. In my opinion, anyway, I've found out very quickly, you can't take it with you. It doesn't matter. As long as you're happy and you're spending time with the people who you love, it doesn't really matter. And also, like, you can have all these lovely holidays, but some of the best holidays I've been on in my life are Great Yarmouth and Rill and Cornwall, and well, maybe not so much Rill, but you know, Great Yarmouth, Cornwall, Devon, lots of lovely places down there. Nothing wrong at all with staycations and little weekends away. So, yeah, you don't need to be doing anything special. Lucas, 2 lousy teams. The way they play is so boring. And Knick-knack says unusual for all 3 promoted teams to get wins under their belt within 2 games. Yeah, it was a big day yesterday. Burnley's win was really surprising. Twisted Fate, Key has more balls chasing your dream than 95% of the population. We all just get stuck in dead-end jobs and don't chase our dreams. I know that, mate. I'm not professing it to be anything. It's not glamorous. It's fucking hard work. It's really hard work. If you're happy enough being skint, then give it a whirl. But I wouldn't advise it. It's been rough. Shelley, thank you for your lovely lady wife for letting you watch the footy with us. So thank you, Mrs. Kee and Baba. Thanks, Shelley. That's lovely of you to say. Hey, and I let her do her thing as well. By the way, she has her own. She does clothes and stuff like that on TikTok and whatever. I don't know. She's got her own little fashion thing going that she likes. She's doing all right, to be fair, as well. She's probably doing better than me. Twisted Fate. Oh, sorry, done that one. Knick-knack. Skeggy. I've never been to Skeggy. No, I can't say I've ever been to Skeggy. I went to Butlins in... there's a Butlins in Skegness, isn't there? We went to Butlins in... What's the one on the south coast? Near Southampton. That might have been. It's not Skegness. I don't know. Twisted Fate. I'm skint already, Key. 3 kids isn't cheap. Oh, yeah. I can imagine that. Especially if you've got girls. Christ, I've only got 1 girl. She's... Well, I've got 2 if you count me missus. Girls are very expensive. Can wrap me round the finger. Right, well, there you go. 2-0 Everton. They've deserved it fully after that second half. Bognor, that's the one, Gav. That's where I went. Yeah, we went to Bognor. That was a business trip, that one. Took the team to Bognor. To Bognor Butlins for an 80s weekend. Shelley, yay, we won Blues. Get in. Good result for Everton. Shocking performance from Welbeck and Brighton generally. Just a really poor all-round performance. But good results. Good result for Everton and fair play to them. I have got about 15 minutes to get set up for the Man United stream. So I'll be live again in 15 minutes if anyone's coming back for Fulham against Manchester United, if you're watching that one. The Craigies, Benjamin Sesko is about to take Man United to Waitrose. AFC half, Hutchinson did a terrible debut. He skied 2 big chances. Wow. Charmy, single, bachelor life. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. D Chapo, well played. Toffees, Forest draw. Yeah, Forest Everton, 1-1. Sorry, Forest Palace, 1-1. Twisted Fate, I have 2 girls, 1 boy. Good lad. Like it. DJ Dan Mercury, thanks Key. No worries mate, good to have you, thank you. Nick Knack, pressure might start to build on Hurzeler. Why? He did wonderful last season. Why would pressure start to build on Hurzeler? I mean, 1 point out of 2, fair enough, you know, but he's still... I think Brighton... What's the goal for Brighton this season? I would say Brighton finishing in like 7th or 8th again would be a pretty decent season for him, wouldn't it? Dave, thanks Key. We'll catch up soon, mate. No worries. Listen, I'm live. If you're an Evertonian, please do give us a like and a sub. If you're anyone else, give us a like and a sub. But I'm live next week for Everton again. That's the next Everton game we're doing. Wolves against Everton next Saturday, 3 p.m. I'll be live for that one. So give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, hit the notifications for that one. And maybe I'll see you all next week. But otherwise, if you're sticking with me, I'll be live again in about 15 minutes or so for Fulham against Manchester United at Craven Cottage. Manchester United unchanged apart from Amad Diallo coming in for Dallo at right back. Onana on the bench. Amorim confirming that he's dropped him for a technical decision. That's the news coming out of there. But I will we'll be reviewing all that soon anyway. We'll be talking about United and Fulham in about 15 minutes. I'll see you all shortly. Take it easy.